Okay. Let's see. There we go. Do this one. Do that. This one here. And we'll pop chat out. God, it's such a commitment to get this set up. Yo, bro, what's up, man? How you doing, dude? All right. What's up, Brooks? When to play? I'm here. Give me my prize. What's up, Free? Can you invite me? Kyler, I sure can. Oh, you want to play? Brooks, I can get you in. Game time. What's up, buddy? Yeah, Brooks, Kyler, I can get you guys in. If you guys want to play some games tonight, why not? All right. I'm good. How are you? I'm good, man. I'm good. I was napping before this. I had a little bit of a headache. I was napping, and I woke up, and I was like, darn it. Allie, hello. Listen, I'll stay just for you, John. I appreciate it. Game time. Hey there, how's it going? I'm good, Juan. How you doing, man? How you doing? All right, guys. Tonight we're just gonna be running around for a few hours, just kind of killing some aimbots. If you guys want in, you just have to add me. It is High Ruler. And then, you know, if there are people and we have a full party and I've played with you, a few matches, I probably will cycle some people out. But if not, then no big deal. I think this is you, right, Kyler? Playboy Kai? Right? I think that's you. Doing fine? Good to hear, Juan. Good to hear. I think this is Kyler. Think so. Tonight I'm actually gonna be playing a little bit of my Thor. I played Thor a little bit the other morning. And I was spending some time just getting him to soft cap. And now that he's at soft cap, I think it's time to take him to all the way, man. So we're gonna spend some time tonight playing Thor. And I don't know what build I'm doing. I have no idea what I'm doing in terms of items, but we're gonna do something with him. Today was a good day for news for Avengers. Yeah, I mean, like, thanks, Intel. You know what I mean? Like, thanks for kind of messing up there. If it weren't for you guys, you know what I mean? Oh, snap, let's see what your Thor's got. Micah, it's not going to be a lot, dude. Kyler, you can pick whatever you want to do, man. I'm not too picky. I'm probably going to go pick up my dailies, though, really quick. But after that, you can pick whatever you would like, man. Yeah, my Thor is rough, man. I'll be honest with you. It's a rough time. Did a takedown today. Did 21 million damage. Get the fuck out of here. Sorry for my language, but what? Are you kidding me? Okay, like let's my Thor is not going to do anything close to that. Let's just, let me set the stage a little bit there. So I'm not disappointing you right off the bat. He is not going to come close. That is nuts, man. 21 million. That's crazy.
Not since Shield.
Wish I could play, but all my good stuff is on Xbox. I hear you, man. I would love to play my PC version, but all my good stuff is on my all my stuff is on PlayStation. So it is what it is. It is what it is. All right, Kyler, you can pick whatever you want to do, man. Well, hello there, fellas. Dip, what's up, man? What's going on, bro? Hope everyone's chilling, man. Hope everyone has had a good Monday. Crazy day today, man. Crazy day. I'm a Thor main. Swear, granted, it was team takedown, but still my job. Okay, all right. That's fair. That's fair. You know what, dude? We'll take it, man. Anytime you see a number like 21 million, it doesn't matter how you accomplish that 21 million, right? It's still a good number. Doesn't matter. We'll take it. We take it. It seems I'm in the good timing. Yes, sir, you are. So does this game get the new console gen upgrade? No, that's on the 18th game time. That comes on the 18th alongside the new DLC. All right. Agony in the Anthill. Let's do it. Let's do it. My highest is 87 power level. It's Black Widow. Hey, Brooks, that's okay. I got some characters floating around that kind of power level. I got a Iron Man that's like 119. I think my Iron Man's like 119, something like that. And then my Kamala is like right around where that 87 is. Maybe I want to say maybe 70 something. So like right around there, man. So it happens.
They haven't figured out how to use
It happens. At this point, with like, you know, there's obviously not like a good kind of end game kind of way to play with like a group, right? So like until we get like a firm date for that, if you're just kind of messing around and you're not really kind of reaching for the end, like 150 or whatever, like it's totally cool. Like play how you want to play, you know? Gosh, the newest Marvel Legends Red Guardian is so good. Can't wait to own it. Is that the one that came out last year, Dip? Alongside the Black Widow wave? That was like last year, no? There was a bunch of Marvel Legends that came out alongside like Black Widow, like when it was supposed to come out, right? I have all my characters maxed out, ready for future and perfect. Hey, bro, there you go. All my heroes are at 150. Xavier, welcome in, dude. How are you? Those custom armors you posted the other day look nuts. You can see myself spending hours in there. Yeah, they're gonna be pretty cool, man. They're gonna be pretty cool. I just hope, so when it comes to the custom harm rooms, I hope it's only part 1. You know what I mean? Like this is the first part 1 of like something coming to, you know, the harm room, or the harm rooms being built up over time. You know, I expect the custom harm rooms to be updated every time like there's a content drop, right? So like maybe you know, Wakanda maybe has like a different kind of set of villains. I would expect them to be added in there, so on and so forth. But it is very promising seeing that. It's crazy how that's tied behind like the Intel like deal, you know, like that. It was just so crazy to me that like that's tied behind it, which is probably why they haven't been able to talk about it, because Intel is the one that probably has to like talk about it first, which is nuts. I got Kamala pretty high in terms of 80s because she's the main hero of the group until Clint comes. True. True. Hope there'll be new challenge cards soon. I don't know if we should expect new challenge cards for like the main 6. It would be nice. I don't know if I would expect anytime soon, but it would be nice. I know there's a few people itching for new challenge cards, so I guess the sooner the better, I guess, you know? But I hear what you're saying, Faith. I have all the characters of power 150. Okay. Some of you guys are grinders. I don't even have all the... oh my god. I was going to say, I keep getting hit by these random laser beams. I don't even have all the characters at 150, man. You guys are grinders. I think eventually I'm going to have to, you know, get my my Iron Man and my Kamala up to 150. At least soft cap, you know? Eventually. It'll just make sense. But I think, honestly... I think Clint is next for me. I'm super excited to play as Clint, to be quite honest with you guys. I hope Hawkeye is fun. Me too. Me too. I expect Hawkeye to be a lot of fun. I wouldn't worry too much about Hawkeye being fun. I think Hawkeye is going to be a lot of fun. Hopefully we could change the location type for harm rooms. I've seen that talked about quite a bit today, and my only worry is that, you know, people are already worried about frame rate on some of these base consoles. When you start changing location and you start adding like this influx of enemies that, you know, theoretically you're going to be able to do, you know, then I really start to worry about like the consoles, you know what I mean? Because when you think about the harm room, it's just like a very basic area. There's not a lot going on. You know, I don't know if that really affects performance like something like an outdoors area would be. You know what I mean? If they could do it, I would like them to. I wonder if that's something they'll address in that kind of conversation about it, because I can imagine that might be like very performance heavy, you know? But I could also be totally talking out of my ass. So I wonder what's the reaction if the MCU skins are finally released. MCU skins are kind of like they're gonna happen. It's just like a matter of time, you know? But I imagine like the reaction to those is gonna be huge. Like people are gonna love that. Yeah, truly came out of nowhere. It's nice to be surprised something for once. Feel the buzz for this game coming back. Yeah, I mean, like I said on Twitter, I said thanks Intel. You know, like this definitely seemed like it was very early. But you know, at this point, we'll kind of take it, right? We were in a dark place for a little bit, for real. Yo, what's up, Prime? How you doing, man? Dark Places Gotham, yes. Where is Batman? Where is Batman to save Marvel's Avengers? Huh? That's what we need. But yeah, I mean, like, it definitely was a really weird thing, you know? It's just like a random video goes up, and then it's like linked to me, you know? And then it goes down, right? It's down, and I'm pretty sure they haven't said anything about it, right? It's like really, like, the whole situation regarding like everything to do today is just so interesting, man. Yeah, someone at Intel either forgot about it or they messed up. Like, you know what I mean? Like, they set a date to it as kind of like, hey, like, you know, we're just going to set this as like a placeholder and we'll come back to it later, and forgot about it. Or they manually put it to public, and that's a big boo-boo, you know what I mean? Both of which don't sound good, you know? So we'll have to wait and see. Maybe it's a rogue Marvel's Avengers fan, and they did it for us, you know? They're like, I know what we're sitting on. I'm going to give the community what they want, you know? We can always think about that, I guess. Is there any characters you want to see in the game that are confirmed to run the leagues? I always say Silver Surfer, man. I know Silver Surfer obviously is like such a big long shot. But for me, like, if there's one character that I could get in the game that I'd be super excited about, it would probably be Silver Surfer. Aside from that, like, the characters that kind of like are in the leaks, you know, are pretty cool. The characters that are in that big like name dump at the start of the game's life in like September, those are all pretty cool. So I'm like, I'd be okay with any of those. I'm not too picky on characters, you know. I know a lot of people are. I'm just wanting like a cool game that I can play, you know. Whatever characters come in that cool game, I'm totally okay with. Harm Room Challenge video looks really good. It does. It does. My point of this now is like, they definitely changed that. They definitely changed the Harm Room, right? They did the challenge changes to it. Now, is them reverting those changes indicative of that piece of content now being delayed? You know what I mean? Because it seems like they wanted to change the Harm Room because of like all these things that are happening to it. But then with them reverting the change on the Hawkeye release date, is that content being delayed now? Or is that like them looking at like that decision and saying like that was the wrong decision, right? It's one of those two answers. It's just we'll have to wait and figure out which one it is. Hawkeye is almost here. Yes, sir. Hawkeye, Falcon, Winter Soldier, Godzilla vs. Kong, Snyder Cut. Damn, March is really something. Yeah, it's gonna be a crazy month, man. Yeah, it's definitely gonna be a crazy month. So anyone who's interested in like any of those things, even half of those things, you know, you have a great month ahead of you. I bet my schedules won't gonna like it. Yeah, neither will mine. Trust me. The fact that the different enemy groups think there are gonna be multiple, possibly Kree Hydra. Well, I wouldn't expect that right off the bat, Prime. I think the idea is that these things will kind of be continuously updated. So as like more get added to like the actual game through like different biomes and operations, they can then go and retroactively make those changes as well in the custom harm rooms. So don't log in whenever that's released and expect like a bunch of those enemy groups to be in there, but expect that as kind of content gets added to the game, as new enemies get added to the game, that it'll make their way into the custom harm room for you to play against in your own kind of fun little way, right? I am Groot. I want to see Daredevil in gaming since he's been an Avenger before. He's my favorite character of all time. Oh, Daredevil will be a cool one. Daredevil will be a very cool one. That'd be a lot of fun. I am Groot. All I want right now is content about characters. Cloning Labs looks fun. Yeah, Cloning Labs does look a lot of fun, man. Hopefully, like Phil said, as they're kind of, you know, pushing people towards like this networking side of the game and optimizing that side. Hopefully, you know, that's a sooner rather than later kind of situation because of like them prioritizing that piece of content now. But I agree, like, you know, Cloning Labs, you know, seeing that footage, Cloning Labs looks amazing. Knowing now that they're also doing, they're also making other content like Cloning Labs, which Phil said in the dev stream, right? That bodes well for like my addiction to like end game multiplayer content, right? Knowing that it's not just gonna be Cloning Labs, but in the future it's gonna be multiple things like Cloning Labs. I mean, woo, baby, can't wait, man. The thing about this game is, like, ideally, if everything goes right from, like, here on out, it's going to be one of those games that had, like, a slow start, and then it really kind of picked up pace through, like, maybe the middle of 2021 into the back half. It's just, hopefully that's, like, the case of it, right? Like, it still remains to be seen, obviously, but, like, that's what I'm hoping for personally, is that, like, you know, we get into, like, an April situation, you know, we start knowing what's coming, we get into, like, a May, June, July, and then we start seeing more content roll out, sort of similar to how a lot of these things kind of go, right? But it remains to be seen, man. Hopefully. If you ever feel sad about your life, just remember Marvel paid Vin Diesel $25 million to stay 3 words. That makes me even more sad. Makes me even more sad. This week's gonna end WandaVision. I'm getting sad. Yeah, Juan, that's gonna be a very sad time. WandaVision has been such a great show too. But you know what? Right around the corner is Falcon and the Winter Soldier. So, you know what? I'll take it. You know what? One's ending for another one to begin. We did those lines in like 15 languages. Ghost Rat. You know what? I mean, you're not wrong. He did do those lines in like 15 languages, which is nuts. But 25 million. Whew, the things I could do with 25 million, you know? Ghost Rider and Silver Surfer would be great additions, very much like to see some anti-heroes make the roster. Yeah, I mean, like, anything that's just different and out there compared to what we got. Of course, like, you know, we have, you know, Thor. We'll have Captain Marvel at some point. But, yeah, I think, like, Ghost Rider and Silver Surfer are just, like, totally different than, like, anything else. I think that would be, like, the fun of them, right? In the same vein of, like, almost like Scarlet Witch and Doctor Strange, right? They're just so different than, like, anything else that we would get that, like, those two characters stand out amongst a lot of others as ones that people want, you know? Just sweet Groot. True. Don't worry, I'm here. Yo, Leafy, what's up, man? How you doing, brother? How long do you think it'll take for enough content in the game to bring back players? Great question, man. You know, players will always come back for, like, well, sorry, I won't say always come back, but there will be players who come back for, like, Clint or whatever, who will go away again. Just like, you know, there will be players who come back for, like, Black Panther who maybe go away again. But the problem is like, you need enough end game content to keep these players around, right? So, for example, if Cloney Labs launches, I think Cloney Labs, you give it like a 2-month lifespan before players maybe get a little too bored of it, so to speak, right? But in that 2 months, hopefully they're releasing Omega level threats. Hopefully they're releasing something else so that, you know, it's not just Cloney Labs and getting stale. But I think in terms of just bringing players back, it has to be end game content. I don't think character drops will kind of do what it needs to do over the long term. I think character drops are good for like a you know, like a 2 to 3 day bump. But I think unless you're bringing back, you know, or bringing end game content designed for multiplayer, for a lot of these people who are missing kind of that experience from this game, I don't know. I don't know when that will be, to be honest with you. But I know that's kind of the magic bullet at this point. You know, you talk to anyone right now who's kind of just like not playing the game, and like that's what they're missing, right? For the most part, some are different, but a lot of people are just kind of missing like that co-op experience of like that hardest difficulty thing, right? They want to use the loot that they've grinded for. They want to play with their friends. They want to play with other people. They want to do real hard content because like that's the pinnacle of these kind of games, right? And without that, you're missing like a layer of your game, and you're just kind of like, I won't say robbing the experience, but they're not getting the full experience out of the game that they really want to. So whenever that stuff starts rolling out, man, people are going to come back for it, you know? It's just a matter of like, when is that going to be, right? Optimus and March 18th started the comeback. Spidey custom Harmon Colonia. Okay, like let's not think Spidey is coming March 18th. I know. Oh, I don't, Leafy. I know you're probably just kind of saying it as like, you know, that's the start of the comeback, and Spidey will come like after that. But I hope people don't think like Spidey's coming on March 18th. Do you think when they go back to working in the office, it'll speed up a bit? Yeah, no. Yeah, no. I think I said that right? Yeah, of course, like working in like the office space will definitely benefit, right? You're benefiting from maybe a better computer, a better connection. You're benefiting from all the resources that are there in the office that maybe you don't have at home, right? You know, it's funny. I was actually reading today some stuff about Elden Ring, and you know how COVID has impacted Elden Ring and like developers in Japan specifically, because like they don't have like the equipment at home, they don't have the internet at home. You know, Nintendo notoriously has been hit by that over the course of like this, you know, year, I guess now officially almost, right? So like, yeah, of course, like when you can go back to your home, or sorry, go back to your office and take advantage of the equipment and everything that you have at your office, of course that's gonna like benefit your workflow, you know? Even if it's just like communication wise too, right? Like it's easier to walk over to someone's desk and ask them a question than it is maybe to Slack them or text them even, right? So yeah, there's a lot of benefits to working in the office versus working at home, and it's, yeah, of course, like once they get back there, it'll be a matter of, you know. Okay, that happened. What's up, Stardust? Hope we get a good marketplace this week. That Miss Marvel Skins one Miller confirmed, so I'm buying it. Heartbeat. Yeah, that's a really good one, and I hope that's what it is too. You know, this should be a good week for marketplace. New Black Widow skin as well as the Miss Marvel skin. It should be a pretty good week for anyone who plays those characters. I want them to add Ghost Rider. Dude, Ghost Rider would be sick. Ghost Rider would be sick. Ghost Rider would be a very fun character. I was just reading, well, I still am reading the latest Avengers run where Robbie Reyes is in it. And, man, I love Ghost Rider, dude. Like, you know, it's obviously not Johnny Blaze, so I know some people are, you know, more Johnny Blaze fans, and I get it. But I think Ghost Rider just as like as a character, regardless of which version it is so cool. So cool. All right, let's do this. That works. Have you heard anything about Loot 2.0? No, nothing other than like small little things that they've said in like dev streams. I don't have any inside sources, guys, but if anyone from Crystal Dynamics wants to be my inside source, and I will protect your identity, you know, DM me. I'm Leia. Hey, John, thanks for the info today, my guy. Yo, no problem, man. Happy to kind of get that out there. It's kind of funny because by the time my video went up, they actually took theirs down. I was like, oh, sucks for you guys. Sucks for you guys. You guys made a crucial error, you know? Should we be worried about another announcement after Hawkeye's and why the costume is so bland and has unlimited access to the Marvel IP? J-Rob, that's a great question, man. Should you be worried? No, I don't think so. I don't think so. If today is any indication, then it's like silly stuff that is like tied behind maybe brand deals that like they can't talk about yet, right? Which is so stupid, right? That you're tying like a game mode change to like a brand deal because of like the enhanced destruction that Intel gives you. Whatever, who cares? But if that's kind of like the reason why you can't talk about things, to a degree, that's stupid. But it doesn't mean like there's anything crucially wrong with like the game or the game's ending after Hawkeye or ending after Spider-Man or even ending after Black Panther. It just means like there's just stupid deals in place of like a lot of these things that act like roadblocks, right? Spider-Man is still one of them. You know, in terms of the costume stuff, costumes are hit and miss, man. I know some people like them, some people don't. I wouldn't worry too much about them. I always say if it's something you don't like, the best thing to do is vote with your wallet. They can see the data on which costumes do well, which costumes don't do well. So if it's not something you like, you know, don't worry too much about it. Just vote with your wallet and hope that like, you know, they'll make something that's more akin to like what you want, right? You know, seemingly they've stopped doing recolors of the new skins, so the recolor argument was loud and clear. And if there's stuff that you don't like, you know, and you're in the majority of people who don't like something, they'll respond to it and they'll change plans as quick as possible, right? Oh, Joe Biden, what's up? March 18th is starting point. Okay, fair enough, Leafy. Shoot that in with a God Blast to kill all the vents? Yeah, I should have. It's a little difficult playing and talking with chat at the same time. It's not like I'm just kind of grinding the grind, right? I do try and prioritize talking with you guys over the gameplay. You know, that's my excuse, and I'm going with it. So we'll keep that in mind a little bit here. I didn't see the Intel gameplay. Does anyone have it? Yeah, it's on my channel. President Joe Biden. Would like to see enemy types to try to run for you? You have to catch them and stop them from reaching escape points. A new type of objective. Integrity. That's a great one, dude. That'd be kind of cool. Actually, That could be a different kind of game mode. I should be worried with the hype with Outriders. One, I don't think so, man. I think at the core, they're just kind of two different games. I wouldn't worry about it, dude. If someone here likes Outriders and they're going to play Outriders for a little bit rather than Marvel's Avengers, I mean, all the power to them, man. Outriders is like I said, it's not the game for me, but it's a game for somebody. And you know what? That's all that really matters. You know, I hope people enjoy it. I hope people, you know, love it. But, you know, it's fine. It's fine. Don't know how familiar you are with Marvel Future Fight, but I think you should take a gear system like that. It's basically ISO, you level up armor, and the main thing is comics to give stat boosts. Yeah, I'm not too familiar with Future Fight. The only thing I've heard about Future Fight is I could start today. I could literally start today, put money into it, and be ahead of people that have been playing for years, which has kind of turned me off of Future Fight a little bit, you know, unless I want to sit here on stream and like drop $100 into it and be like, hey guys, like let's see where we go with Future Fight, right? But I don't, yeah. I mean, if there's a good system in Future Fight though that people enjoy, and it makes sense within the game structure that they've built, yeah, I mean, I'm open to it. Like I'm a very easygoing person, so like, you know, if they can make a change that's overall good or an overall net benefit to the game, I'll probably be on board with that, you know.
Avengers.
I just don't know enough about Future Fight in general, or, you know, specifically to kind of talk about what they do well and what they could pull over, just because, you know, I've really never played the game. Maybe that's why this roadmap is so slow, lots of brands to talk to. Well, you definitely need to take into account, like, Sony's making the announcements for Spider-Man, right? So, like, do they put out the roadmap that spoils Sony's announcement? You know, that's an interesting conundrum itself. Or do you wait for Sony to flip the lid on Spider-Man, then you can put out your roadmap? It's so stupid. Like, it's so stupid, man. Like, everything to do with Spider-Man, I'm sorry, guys. The more I think about Spider-Man, the more I think he's just a waste of time. Like, I don't know, man. They're just too expensive. Wish they had more cosmetic outfits, something like Rune King, Thor, stuff like that. Oh, okay. Yeah, I mean, like, I think J-Rob, a lot of people would agree with you, myself included, that sometimes what you get out of the skin is not worth the direct dollar value you put into it, right? There's lots of people who would agree with that. I would agree with that. And I've always said that for a lot of the skins, if you're going to charge the $14, you know, you should definitely try and make it more engaging visually, audioly in the audio section. Like, make them a little more better than what they are if you're going to charge the premium price for them, right? But if you can't do that, then like a reduction of the price would definitely work, you know, that way as well. Oh, what's up, Jenkins? What's up, Batman? Appreciate your hard work covering this game. I'll show your videos and picking up what you're putting down. Appreciate it, man. Yo, Micah, I appreciate that, dude. I'm putting down...
You're gonna have to take them out before you can enter the facility.
Thor, I guess. What the hell, dude? Alright, we're just gonna restart. Good God. I appreciate you saying that, though, man. It means a lot. Like, you know, for all the crap this game gets, you know, from all of us included, you guys are always super nice. And you guys are super nice to me, you know. Is Outriders game as a service? No, it's not. It's more like Borderlands or Remnant, I guess. Xbox Avengers, where you at? How long did it take you to get the 1K subs? It took me 3 years to get the 133. It took me, I guess, 6 months. 6 months, something like that. Phil, I have no idea what happened, man, with that message. It says message retracted on my end. Yeah, I don't know what happened there, buddy. It seems the addition of Spider-Man affected so negatively the game. Yeah, Juan, you're 100% correct. It seems that way. I only got around 9 total subs. You know what? The sub grind on YouTube is it's tough, man. Before this channel, I was kind of in a similar boat, right? Like, you know, sometimes it's in a lot of ways, you know, speaking about content creation in general, it's a little bit of luck, and then it's a little bit of like capitalizing on that luck that you get, man. You know, that's why I never take it for granted that, like, you know, I'm putting out a video and people are gonna watch it. It's always like a gamble, you know. It's always a gamble. Oh, I just got something pop up there. I heard something pop up. Yo, Chamar Moore. Wait, is that what popped up? Oh, you know what it is? It's all like the Oh, that looks ugly. That looks ugly. Hold on. Someone remind me I have to go fix that after the stream, all right? That looks ugly. My fault, guys. But yeah, I mean, like, yeah, it's a gamble every time I put out a video, you know? And every time I put out a video, I just want to put out something that I would want to watch, you know? And if I can do that, then, you know, I'm pretty happy with it myself. But it definitely is a little bit of luck, man. Like, anyone who's doing content creation, a little bit of luck, and then when you have that luck, it's about capitalizing on it, you know? The skins that were premium prices should have alt abilities. Ooh, that's a good one. I always thought, you know, like different visual effects, but alt abilities in terms of like, what do you mean alt abilities? I don't want to get into like the pay to win scenarios here, but if they do something different, I think would be cool. I just get very worried about like stuff like that. But I mean, if you can make a solid argument on that, Slow Johnson, you could win me over, dude. Spider-Man complicates a lot. Yes. I love you, man. You're the best. Yo, Jenkins, I appreciate that, dude. Get your Spider-Man when he fixes his damn door. I see someone covering Avengers news regularly rather than just constantly making videos that slate the game. Yeah, I mean, like, don't get me wrong, Daniel. I'll call the shit out when it's bad. You know what I mean? Like, when stuff is bad, I'll call it out, man. But you know, I try to, you know, my thing is like when things are good, I'll say they're good. When things are bad, I'll say they're bad. And if I don't have an opinion on one thing, I'll let you guys be the voice of the opinion at that point. You know what I mean? It is what it is, man. I just, you know, like I said, I just want to make videos that I'm proud of, you know? And if I can do that, then everything else just kind of comes second to it, you know? Of course, you're a cool dude. Appreciate that, man. They can make mad money if they did symbiote and Ghost Rider skins for some of the characters. Heck, make maybe cosmic versions. What styles of themes for costume would you like to see? Ooh, what styles or themes would I like to see? Ooh, man. Well, all right, look, on the topic of Spider-Man, I think if they don't do a symbiote suit, it is a missed opportunity, right? Even a Superior Spider-Man suit, even a Civil War suit, right? It has to be a comic Civil War suit, I think, at this point to secure the licensing. That's an interesting. Okay, no, they would have, yeah. So, I'm trying to think, like, would they have access to the licensing deal for, like, Amazing Spider-Man 2 and the Tobey Maguire movies? I would think they would. I would like to think that would be included in the original deal for Spider-Man to be in the game, because I would like to see the Amazing Spider-Man suit. I'm okay, like, in terms of styles or whatever I'd like to see. Like, I'm not, like I said, I'm not too picky. You know, I'd like to see just suits that look good, right? So give me a symbiote suit for Spider-Man. Give me Amazing Spider-Man 2 suit for Spider-Man. If a Ghost Rider ever came out, like, obviously, like, a Cosmic Ghost Rider would be very cool. If we're talking, like, other characters, I've always said, like, a Superior Iron Man would be super cool. A Hydra Cap would be cool. You know, I think, like, I just want to see cool skins. You know, however they take shape is totally cool with me. But what about you guys? What kind of skins do you want to see? Or what kind of style of skins do you guys want to see? Is there anything in particular that you guys look at and say, like, oh, I want this? Yeah, bro, I'm a huge fan. Love your takes on the game. Yo, Leafy, I appreciate that, man. I respect you, bro. I really wanted to stream this game. Yo, Slow Johnson, don't let anything stop you, man. Don't let anything stop you, dude. You know? What's up, JJ? Harmon changes new Widow skin. Let's get it. Yeah. That's what I followed the comment. I took it out of my balance. Said half of what I said inside. Oh, Phil, you're good, man. I looked over and I saw it said message retracted. I just want to make sure you're good, bro. We need a symbiote suit for Spider-Man. True. Yeah, all the Spider-Man movies are Sony products. Yeah, it's just I want to make sure. Like, part of my worry is like same thing with like the MCU skins, where like the licensing deal wasn't included in the deal for the game. I would hope that like the licensing deal for those movies would be included in the game. You know. Wonder if we get info on Spider-Man when we get teased for Spider-Man 3. Maybe that's going to be the beginning of the cross-promotion. When do we expect to hear anything really on Spider-Man 3, like a trailer, you know? Are we expecting it anytime soon? Because, like, in a way, like, you could be right. I'm just trying to think, like, are they really going to do that, you know? I want Ultimate Thor. Okay. When are we going to stop fighting robots or aliens? I thought Hawkeye future We team with aim to fight Kree, but in the trailer we're still fighting robots. Yeah, so I've been trying to kind of caution people that, like, in terms of like robots fighting, it's probably going to be robots fighting for the next little while. You know, we are going to be fighting, what are they called? The Watchdogs? In part of the future, right? If you go through the trailer, you see them there. I don't know how, to the extent that they're going to be, but definitely going to be some robots there. I would even expect for there to be some robots in Black Panther's operation, but I would expect after that is when you'll start to see like new enemies and new enemy factions and stuff like that. So 2 more operations ideally, and then we'll start to see, you know, kind of some more enemies, right? It's just going to be a little bit more time. Just a little bit more time. Hey, Sembo, what's up, B-Dog? Need Cosmic Thor or Herald of Galactus Thor, whatever you want to call it, be perfectly fit with my Cosmic Thor build. Is that the one that's currently in like the comics right now? The one with like the cool suit and like the white long hair, essentially. Is that the one that's kind of right there right now? Comes out in December this year. Okay. Not enough content to stream this game is why I respect you. I mean, yeah, in like a way, like I do agree with you. That's why I definitely don't stream it like every day. You know what I mean? Because like there definitely isn't a lot of content. So like if I streamed it every day, like I'm sure you guys would probably get bored. I would get bored. That's why, you know, I stream like gameplay like once a week. Because it's almost like a treat then, you know, we all get to sit, we all get to, you know, whoever wants to come play can come play. But for the most part, we're just hanging out and talking about it, right? So in some ways, like I definitely do agree. You just gotta, you know, you just gotta schedule it right. You know, you gotta you know, do it right, and you'll be all right with it. You know what I mean? But I appreciate that, bro. The teaser came out, so who knows? The teaser for Spider-Man is out? Wait, what? Or do you mean the title? Don't tell me the teaser came out and I missed it. No way. I wouldn't have missed that. No way. But yeah, if it comes out in December, I guess like maybe like May, we start seeing like a trailer. Maybe. I think Spider-Man's out before a trailer for Spider-Man 3 is out. I think. Don't hold my feet to the fire on that one, but I think. Rune Thor, Patriot Iron Man, Superior Iron Man with cosmetic animation, Immortal Hulk. Ooh, Immortal Hulk would be a good one. Does this game survive 2 more DLC? Yeah, of course. Of course. Would Hawkeye get here already? Yeah. Miller said the next big new enemy faction will be the Kree with Captain Marvel's DLC in 2021. Also, this current Thor is going to have crazy effects too. Oh, okay, that is. Yeah. If it takes all the way to Captain Marvel, well, he's also said Captain Marvel may not even come this year, right? So we'll have to wait and see what happens. We'll have to wait and see what happens. I definitely trust him because he has access to information that I don't have, but that is rough sailing if that is the case, you know? It's going to be rough sailing for a lot of people if that's the case, you know? Especially because they are... I mean, I would imagine, you know, Phil 3 weeks ago made a comment of different enemy factions we want to see. I would like to think that, you know, it's not so much they're just starting work on enemy factions now. It's more so they're looking for feedback on the work that they've already started to know that they're going down the right track, right? Wait, what's up, Andrew? One new enemy type for Black Panther DLC, like Wakanda enemy types or claws. Maybe they use aim again. I just want another new enemy type with them. Yeah, I think you'll get new enemy types with them, but I think like still like aim will have like an overarching presence there. You know what I mean? So it's not like aim is going to be like totally away, you know? And that's the one thing I was trying to stress is like aim is still going to be around, even if, you know, on like a DLC like that there is. Wait, am I in a party? I am in a party. Wait a sec, sir. All right. I didn't actually sold the game yet, so I love this game. You know, I know it's not the best game. It helps me with anxiety just playing it. Hey, you know what? That's all that matters to you then, you know? Let's just hope the game kind of continues to do that for you, Prime, you know? But I'm happy to hear that a game does help you with your anxiety, bro. It was a teaser that dropped in it. Okay. You got me worried there that I missed like a trailer or something. I'm so sad I really want to play Captain Marvel. Yeah, so do I. Why is the endgame content so slow to come out? What will happen to the plan of the characters every month for the months they missed? Will they make up for it? So, great question again, J-Rob. So, it seems like the end game content in terms of, cloning labs or even multiplayer Mega Hive that hasn't been talked about in forever, or mega level threats, are all plagued by the network side of the game. So once they kind of lock down like the network side of the game, it seems like they'll have more opportunity to bring those out. In terms of cloning labs specifically, it seems like there's still a few outstanding bugs within the gameplay itself. Enemies not loading or so on and so forth. Anything that is seemingly like a transition, which could be a part of the networking side, right? If you're transitioning with a group from one area to another, maybe something gets lost along the way. Once they kind of start to nail down that side of the game, it seems like the end game content will come out faster than it has been. It just seems like lately, or in the past several months, they've prioritized new characters and new content rather than devoting a significant amount of resources to that kind of thing, right? Which, depending on where you stand, is either a good thing because you want new characters, you want new content, or is a bad thing because you want the end game content that's kind of been talked about forever. In terms of like kind of the character releases and how they've been spread out, I wouldn't expect them to make that up anytime soon. Like made up the ground that they've lost until like they're back in the office, probably. I think they've shown what kind of pace they work at with regards to like work from home. I don't think there's, I think maybe they could speed it up a little bit, maybe, but in terms of like a whole kind of change in development plan and speed, I wouldn't think too much on that one. It just maybe with like Spider-Man being done and like campaign replay being done, right? I think campaign replay has probably held up quite a bit of resources, right? The next gen version's being done now. Like resources are being freed up from these projects to move elsewhere. So maybe I'm totally wrong on that, and maybe there is stuff that will be done faster now because like they're not working on these other projects. But that is something that like remains to be seen, right? So in terms of that, I would say like stay hopeful but remain skeptical. You know what I mean? I hope we at least get some C tier mini villains, or at the very least Claw could have some goons to fight. Yeah, I mean hopefully. C tier villains would be pretty cool if they just like dropped in and just kind of like were whatever, be kind of cool. Unfortunately, without knowing the roadmap, it's all very much like a wait and see, Let's be real, consistent content all the games, but I believe it's like Colonial is supposed to come out as a bundle with other things. How do you not use unworthy Thor skin, bro? Bro, what do you mean? This one's fine. This is a fine skin. Don't skin shame me, dude. This one's a fine skin. What's up, Rogue? Classic and unworthy are the best skin in the game. True. But yeah, Phil did say they're going to try and bundle it with other content, which is really interesting. It makes me wonder what they're going to bundle it with. You think the raid combo with Black Panther DLC will give us more content that isn't repetitive? Well, a raid by design is repetitive, right? You go in, you do the raid, you kind of learn the mechanics, the encounters, right? So by design, it's repetitive. Will you find it repetitive yourself doing it every week or, multiple times a week on different characters? Maybe not, just because maybe the encounters are so good that like you enjoy just the fact that you're playing it. Maybe the puzzles are so good that you just enjoy it, right? There's so many things to take into account with that, but it remains to be seen. I think anyone who's played a raid before, and as long as this kind of keeps up with like similar themes that we've seen in raids and other games do, I think it'll be fine. I think it'll be fine. Is it too optimistic to think Square Enix will not give up a $1 billion IP and give it a Final Fantasy XIV reboot approach? Also, what's up with the communication with this game? Yeah, I don't see them giving up on it anytime soon. I always try to stress the point that it's not just Avengers that they have to adhere to, right? That unless they've canceled this Guardians of the Galaxy game secretly and no one knows about it, that still is being developed over at Eidos in Montreal. So they definitely do need to take into consideration they have a game that's unreleased, and if you kind of preemptively kind of kill your one game, you almost kill your second one too, right? And I think there's like the Marvel factor at play too. I think Marvel's going to want this game to do well, right? It's like their only console game right now. Marvel definitely is going to want this game to succeed where it hasn't this far, depending on who you talk to. So yeah, no, I don't think this game is really going anywhere. I think this game is poised to kind of stay around this year, and then we'll kind of see where it goes after that. So I wouldn't worry too much about that. In terms of the communication, I mean, great question, man. I don't know, man. They are getting better. Like, they have done a lot of cool teases for Hawkeye over the course of like the last few weeks. Oh, I fucked that up. In terms of like just like straight communication of like roadmaps and like things that are coming out, I mean, I've been harping on them for that for like the last like, you know, however long. For anyone who's watched my videos knows that, like, you know, the content can't come out any faster, but like you can change communication plans, you know, as long as people sign off on it. And maybe people just aren't signing off on it, you know. Maybe the communication strategy for, you know, the end of 2020 and the beginning of 2021 was like a damage control, right? Don't say anything that you don't have to. Keep quiet, put your head down, and just work. But the problem with that is, like, you have Marvel fans who like just want information, right? Like, I mean, I don't know. I would love to be a fly on the wall in one of these meeting rooms, or I guess like teleconferences now, or Zoom calls, whatever you want to call them, to really understand like what the strategy is, because I don't know. The communication side really kind of boggles my brain in a lot of ways, you know. Do you have the Vishanti, and what does it do? Yeah, I do have the Vishanti. Let's pull it up, man. Let's pull it up. The Vishanti Appendix. So as a 24.5% increased willpower recovery effectiveness while invisible, your next boost, your next perk is 15.9% chance melee critical attacks will extend the duration of active invisibility abilities. And then your last one is plus L3 and R3 simultaneously conjure an obscuring illusion that triggers invisibility. We also have to remember the pandemic also affects a lot of. Oh, of course, Juan, of course. Yeah, that's why I say like the content argument, like unless you want like slave labor, you know, they've shown the pace that they can probably reasonably work at. So unless they can get back into the office anytime soon, which I don't know how California is going, but you know, that's just kind of the reality of the situation. I've always said, like, focus on the communication side rather than the content side, because one of those is a lot easier to change than the other, you know? I think once the roadmap release, we'll get a better idea what's the common user worries about. Oh, of course, of course. Yeah, I mean, like, the absence of information is kind of more anxiety-inducing than anything else, right? And I've tried to stress this publicly and privately as much as I can, that there is a general fear with a lot of people who may not follow the kind of the leaks and stuff, that after kind of Spider-Man, the game's done, you know? That's because they haven't said anything about what's after Hawkeye even, right? So there's a lot of people out there who don't follow Miller for the leaks, or they don't follow anyone who covers the news for the game. They genuinely believe, because like there's just been nothing talked about officially, that like once, you know, Hawkeye, Spider-Man, or Black Panther is out, the game's wrapping up, right? So it's very worrying from that sense, and it's a narrative that they have needed to get ahead, but for some reason their hands are tied. There's red tape across that kind of communication, and it's the communication worries me more than anything else. And I've always said the people that are in charge of kind of making those communication plans aren't in line with what's happening within the community, right? But I mean, it is what it is at that point. I can't really do anything about it other than kind of reassure you guys that the game's it's not going anywhere anytime soon, right? But it's definitely a pain point for me too. It's something, if I had the power to change, that would be like the first thing on my list right now. You know, without like having god powers, I guess. Not sure if this game is better than DC Online, to be honest. Two different games. One's like an action game, one's like an MMO. Totally depends on like what you're looking for, right? You know, do you want to create like your own character in the DC world, or do you want to play as like a Marvel character in like the Marvel world, you know? And then, like I said, MMOs play very differently from like an action game like this. John, here's your cloning lab main. That Thor build looking rough, dude. I just leveled up my Thor to like soft cap like the other night, dude. Get the hell out of here. It'll probably be cap, to be honest. It'll probably be cap. But it'll also depend on, like, I'm probably going to do, like, a lot of runs with you guys, so it also will depend on who you guys want to play. In your personal opinion, do you think them having unlimited access to anything in the Marvel Universe, which is very rare for Marvel to do, is being underutilized by the devs of Square Enix? It depends on what you're talking about, Jay. Are you talking skins? Are you talking storylines? Are you talking locations? Are you talking all of it under the sun? Like, if you could specify that down, I could probably give you an answer. What do you think of a horde mode or a survival mode where the players fight to the last against increasingly more difficult waves? Yeah, 100%. I'd be down for that. I like, in terms of content, guys, I'm very easy to please, you know? Just give me more stuff to do with more rewards that mean something. Like, value my time and give me stuff that's fun, and I will play your content. I'm not picky. I'm really not picky. I'm like the easiest person to please when it comes to video game stuff. So the more stuff that comes out that's fun and I get cool rewards and cool loot and stuff like that, I will play the hell out of your content. Like, no problem. No problem. So, yeah, Horde mode, survival mode, both of those would be very fun. Very fun. Or maybe they just don't know what they have because business can get in the way for them communication as well as the skins they ditch out. Yeah, I mean, like, it's an interesting idea, you know? I would think the communication is more in line with probably Square putting a lid on them than it is Crystal not wanting to talk. You know? I've seen some tweets to suggest that, you know, they want information out there, but the powers that be have kind of restricted them. So in terms of that, I would say that's more Square than anything. In terms of the skins, man, it's tough to say. I know people want like the true hardcore skins that are like a 1-to-1 rip. You know, I think, as I said in the video with Stardust, I think the problem is like they create like these assets, and they plan to reuse these assets as much as they can in order to kind of create as many skins as they can. And I think that was the strategy they were going for, and I think that's the strategy they're doing now. And I think that's because they just don't have enough manpower between like maybe Spider-Man, Black Panther, and what was, you know, Hawkeye, to create brand new models or brand new assets for these characters, right? Which could be very disappointing. In some ways, it is very disappointing. So I don't know if they're like if they're not taking full advantage of the IP or what it is. I think it's just like fucking life gets in the way sometimes, and like, you know, ideally they can free up some resources from other places, and, you know, they can start putting together new assets and hopefully create some, you know, skins that are, you know, more in line with what probably you guys are expecting when we talk about Marvel characters, you know. Yo, Dip, take it easy, brother. Hopefully Roma's closed installs a bunch of comms issues. Yeah, well, it will eventually. Marvel hit a home run, just well big, but not too big, being that they have other games. They totally with South from the movie, so it's fun to have more characters. The rest take care of themselves. Yeah, I mean, like, a lot of it is just kind of like just, you know, wait and see at this point, right? Like, as I say to people, I say, like, the game definitely didn't do as well as they definitely predicted. I think it was one of those situations where they thought the game would do way better than it would. So they probably thought they had more time to kind of do stuff, because like they knew for like the last like probably like 8 months that the game was launching in a state that just wasn't good, right? And as a developer, you never want to launch something that's going to be trash, right? But I imagine that like Square never didn't want to like delay it. I imagine the contract stipulation with Marvel probably had a hard date of when the game actually had to launch. One of the things that we don't think about is that there was a chat in a Discord last night about a Transformers license game, and that game had a hard date it had to launch by. And like usually you can get the license holder to like agree to a delay on that, but if the license holder doesn't agree to a delay on the date, you're fucked. You just got to release your game regardless of what state is in, right? So I imagine there was a few factors that went into this game being launched the way it was, and unfortunately Crystal is left kind of picking up the mess and being at the front of the, you know, being at the front of the blame for a lot of it, right? I would imagine if Crystal had the opportunity to like delay the game longer, they would have said, yes, please, like, let us delay this game. But, you know, there probably was factors at play that didn't allow them to, which is kind of the unfortunate side of game development when you're working on a licensed IP, I guess, you know? You just need to adjust and learn how each enemies work. Yeah, don't be like me, dude. I suck. But I'm also talking with chat. I'm going to keep using that excuse until you guys tell me you're sick of it. Just saying. What kind of Marvel storylines, Avenger story, do you want to see in this game? It could be anything. Ah, good question, dude. Ooh, I don't know, man. What do I want to see? What do I want to see? Storyline-wise. I I'm like a stickler for like when the Avengers go cosmic, man. So like anything in space is pretty cool. Like I'm a stickler for that kind of stuff, man. So yeah, I don't know. That's why I keep telling people like my favorite Avengers story, other than kind of the stuff I'm reading right now with Jason Aaron, has always been Jonathan Hickman stuff. I think that's such a cool Avengers story. I don't think you could ever adapt that for a video game, you know? Going in from like the incursions and different universes are collapsing, and then you go into like Battle World, like that could never come to a game. But like if I had to think of that'd be kind of cool. What's the storyline with Norman Osborn? Is it Dark Reign? That could be kind of cool. There's a few out there that, you know, if you look at even just event comics themselves, there could probably be quite a few stories that they could probably maybe adapt. But I say Norman Osborn, like they're gonna have access to him, but maybe, I mean, who knows, right? Like who knows what's in that Spider-Man contract, but like stuff like that could be kind of cool. Civil War, Avengers 1 million, Hydra Cap. Big fan of this no matter what. I'm 46. I'm a diehard for this game. I get you, man. I get you. Well, I'm happy you're here, man. Happy you're here hanging out.
These enemies must be
Do you think they focus too much on story instead of endgame content? I don't want to make people upset, but I think if campaign replay wasn't in your initial plans for the game, it's tough, man, because like I know people like love the campaign, so I know people will, when campaign replay is out, I know people are gonna love it. You know, I just wonder how, like, you know, was that really the best kind of play right after your game's launching? You know, like when people are dying for more content, you know, do you go back and go to your bread and butter, or do you try and put out new stuff, right? They made the choice to try and get their bread and butter out, and I mean, we'll see how that works. I don't know if I would have made that move, right? If that wasn't something I initially planned for my game, I don't know if I would have done that, you know? Maybe I would have kind of done it in a different way, right? Like every week is a new campaign story mission that comes out that you can do with your friends, I guess. Maybe that would have been a different way to do it. I don't know if I would have done like kind of like, let's get the whole thing out as campaign replay. But I know some people are going to be very happy with that. I think I'm in the minority on that one, which is fine. In terms of focusing on story rather than endgame content, maybe. It's debatable, you know? I think I'm someone who prefers endgame content, but I also don't mind new characters, right? New characters are very cool. New biomes are cool. And I know that stuff usually comes with like story content and DLC. So I mean, it's like pick your own poison in some regards, right? But yeah, that's a tough question, man. That's a very tough question, because like it almost feels like in some way someone's gonna be very upset with, you know, depending on how you answer that. Every single week would be hard to do with assets. That depends on the character. I'm sure it's hard to make skins for Iron Man and Thor rather than someone like Hulk. Yeah, probably. You're probably right, JJ. Thing is, these skins are highly detailed, so it can very well take a long time to make these suits. Spider-Man PSO has 6 years to make their 40 suits, so I see how making new designs every week would be hard to do with assets. Yeah, I mean, that's why you see a lot of like asset swaps or palette swaps or whatever you call them, right? I guess you'd say like that's why you see a lot of reuse of assets, right, where they can, because like, you know, they definitely try and cut corners a little bit. But, you know, if they hit something like Centurion, people don't care, right? People see Centurion and they're like, oh my God, it's Centurion. They don't really take notice, you know, of like, you know, how it is similar assets that's being used in a different way, right? Excuse me. So a lot of it is like the perception of the skin. And if you do something that looks good, people aren't going to care how you get to that end result, right? The ends justify the means in some respects, the skins, I guess. Hydra Cap would be a very cool one too. Making like a Cap from like you could even tie it into like the multiverse, right? Like Cap from a different multiverse comes in, he's Hydra Cap, you got to stop him from taking over this world. Like that could be a pretty cool storyline too. I don't know, something like that could work in terms of like future storylines. What do you think of the Ronin skin for Hawkeye? I actually like it. That's gonna be my main skin actually on the 18th. So when I stream Hawkeye on the 18th, I'm just literally gonna be playing Ronin as Ronin. So yeah, that's probably my favorite skin for him that I've seen this far. We don't know if there's anything else hidden away. You know, maybe there's another skin somewhere. But as it stands, Ronin looks to be very cool, and I'm excited to use that skin. Will Black Panther have a 500 BC costume like Super Wars? too early to say, man. It's too early to say what they're gonna do for costumes for Black Panther. If you're talking like that current run, or sorry, not the current run, but the old one, where it's like characters from like the past or whatever, right? With like Odin and Lady Phoenix and like all those characters, right? It is a very cool costume. That's something I would actually like to see. I just don't know if that's. I mean, we could speculate on Black Panther costumes. It's too early to know because we haven't even seen his main default. We haven't really seen anything about Black Panther. All we know is that they're working on him, you know. But it would be a very cool costume. Hope they do Ant-Man and Wasp. Be kind of cool. Those characters that are kind of different than what we have so far are like kind of the ones I'm looking for, right? Just because like they're so different and they have different abilities than what we're used to. They kind of like, they don't break the game, but they stretch the barriers of what the game can do right now. And I think those are the characters that people will love and enjoy. Like I said, similar to Strange in some ways, right? Like I think a lot of people look at Strange or even Wanda in those same way because they just do something so different than everyone else that people are like, give me those characters, you know? But so far, they've been working on networking for months, talking about Hawkeye, and then a deep dive coming with the character next month. So they've been going slow, basically. So did this bite off more? Then they could cheer or what? Figure networking to be so difficult when they have Square Enix backing, a company that's the second biggest MMO in the world. So there's a few things that we need to understand about like a publisher and developer relationship, right? So a publisher can't necessarily take developers from a different development studio and throw them at a different one, right? Usually that's kind of done in agreement before the game's even made. You know, you had Eidos, Crystal Dynamics Northwest working on this game. Sorry. So it wouldn't be like maybe you could pull on like different people in like a Zoom call to provide some some expertise, but unless the developers have like experience with the engine that they're using, which apparently it's an old Tomb Raider engine that they've been using. I won't say old in like a negative way, but it's a Tomb Raider engine. You know, the advice may not apply one-to-one, right? So that's one of the things, you know, that we need to kind of understand. In terms of that, it really does seem like, from what I know, that it seems like the transition from work to home really did fuck them. And everything since then has been playing catch up essentially, and they just haven't played catch up fast enough, right? I don't think it's a matter of did they bite off more than they can chew. I think like it was like a perfect storm of a shitstorm that caught them, and they haven't been able to come back from that yet. So I think that's one of the biggest issues, is that everything just kind of like fucked them, and then there's like, uh-oh, like what do we do now, right? I talked about this last time too. That like, you know, depending on the industry and depending on the company you work for, there's either horror stories of moving from work to home, or there's like success stories of work from home, right? You know, you could be in a company that adapted very well to work from home and nothing changed, and depending on the work that you do, you don't need like the greatest internet, you don't need any of that. Or you could have a boss that absolutely hates work from home, that's a micromanager and has totally fucked you, on top of maybe some technical problems that you have too, right? We just honestly, we just don't know. All we really know right now is that, you know, they're working at a pace that people look at and they say like it's not really comfortable for them. They want more, but unfortunately, until kind of the situation surrounding their work changes, you know, maybe we don't get them to go any faster. Maybe we do, but until we get a roadmap, it's very hard to say one way or the other, you know. A mistake was made. The promised Spider-Man for March. Yeah, and I'm gonna put that on Square, Marvel Games, and Sony. Then I'm gonna put that on Crystal. Yeah, everyone involved in that fucking deal should honestly, I'm not gonna say walk the plank, but they should come out and apologize. In my perfect world, dude. Anyone who was involved in signing that off and threw that at Crystal and said you guys are gonna do this, especially when that deal came out, they knew what was going on. They knew they were struggling working from home. Like, and you're gonna sign a deal for an exclusive character. If like, I don't know. Whoever signed off on that deal, like, walk the plank, dude, for real. The story was like carried the review, so I kind of get it. True. Now, if you saw it, PSN Urban Whisker 4, perfect, Brooks. Once I'm done Last Avenger Standing, I'll bring you in.
These enemies must be defeated.
My main Hawkeye scene is probably gonna be the most original looking. There you go. Hawkeye seems to have some cool skins, man. It seems like a lot of people are going to be very happy with the skins. Hopefully, I hope that's one of the good points about him, right? Because I look at those skins and I'm like, yeah, they're pretty cool looking, right? Like I don't look at anything, I'm like, yeah, that looks kind of garbage. Maybe the Iron Eye skin, maybe that's probably not my favorite one, but I think the rest of it kind of like looks pretty good. They just need to add more than Pim, Gamma, and Cryo. Yeah, more status effects would be very cool. More status effects that do different things other than just apply a dot, you know? Pim particles are really cool because they like, there's a visual aspect to it, right? And like, you can probably make some arguments that like there's visual aspects to like Gamma and Cryo and stuff like that. But I don't think the visual aspects are as good as Pim, and I think adding more of those would be very cool. It's his version of the casuals we see for Thor / Hawkeye. You wouldn't see T'Challa in jeans and a tee. No, you see T'Challa in like I guess like more ceremonial robes. I guess is that kind of the correct term? I guess, which could be. I don't know if I don't know. Would I be okay with seeing T'Challa fight in that kind of stuff? Maybe. I'm just thinking about like the last scene in the latest Avengers book that I read, where he's brought over a bunch of people to talk about. Fuck, what were they talking about? Was it... He brought people over to Wakanda because he's the chairman of the Avengers now, and he brought some people over, and all I remember is the Russian bear got crazy upset. But like the outfit he was wearing to that dinner looked pretty dope, so maybe I'd see something like him wearing that. I'd be kind of okay with it. But that means like OG comic suits. Oh, I got you. I want to add Venom. Dude, I'm just reading through Venom right now. Danny Coates. I'm reading through Venom right now, and I'm so impressed with that book. I'd be okay with Venom at this point. Yeah, add Venom. I'm cool with it. Honestly saying, I'd rather Venom be a hero in this game. His effects would be stupidly unique. And, of course, Null would be a cool villain for Venom. Yeah, I mean, like, that. If you guys are in the comics at all, Danny Coates' Venom that starts in 2018 is such a good read, man. I did 2 volumes last night in bed, and I was so impressed when I read them. Like, such a good story. So good, man. Are they even allowed to delay the launch of Spider-Man since the Sony deal? No, not unless Sony agrees to it. If they miss their date, whatever that hard date is, they'll incur like probably like a financial penalty because of it. So unless they go to Sony and say like, hey, like, can we delay this? And Sony's like, yeah, sure, no problem. They'll get fucked financially probably for it, which is man, the Spider-Man stuff is so stupid. Like that, and that's without seeing the contract. That's me speculating. I don't have the contract. I would love to see the contract, but that's just what I'm speculating on based on like kind of like what I know about like a little bit of the industry. Content's taking long to come with Spider-Man, and the deal was worse than I thought. Yeah, well, I mean, the thing about Spider-Man is like, you know, it's like it's content that's only going to affect like 1/3 of the platforms, right? I'm sorry, Stadia, but like, you know, at this point, like I can't say you guys really matter when Google says you don't matter, you know. But yeah, it's content that really only affects 1/3 of the platform. It's pretty bogus, man. Man, I don't know. It made like the whole thing about Spider-Man in some ways like started off really bad too, but I was like, you know what, it's fine, like it's not a big deal. But like the more I think about the Spider-Man deal, I'm just like so disappointed in like that deal being signed off, you know. It sounds like it was just a money deal for people, and unfortunately Crystal Dynamics has to like pick up the pieces because of it, you know, which sucks ass. Like it sucks ass because you're not gonna see anyone at Sony or Marvel Games work on this game, you know, like yeah, right, like, or Square Enix for that matter, you know, unless they're doing PR, which we know how their PR goes. PR sucks ass too. Attacks to slow down. Quicksilver attacks to slow down enemy with each hit. With every hit, Intrinsic makes it much faster. Heroics can freeze all the targets in the zone around. That might be interesting. I think super speed characters are some of the hardest to put in a game, because like you have to be very careful about like not breaking the game, but also staying like faithful to them as well. Yeah, I mean, if they could do like a speedster and they could do them justice in the game, totally all for it. But you definitely have people upset because you're not zooming through the map, you know. What about a symbiote status effect? Maybe magic status effects and strange wand to come, vibranium overload status effects, blow up. Yeah, I mean, I think like the perfect opportunity to add those kind of status effects are when new characters come, right? Or when the story provides you a great reason to do it. If new gear or like new gear types come with like Wakanda, for example, or you know when magic characters show up, I think they definitely have to take advantage of that and implement things that kind of represent like these new characters in your gear. It would be very cool. It would be very cool. A symbiote one would be very cool too. I just don't know what kind of access to symbiote level stuff they have. That would probably be covered in that deal with Sony. I would hope that they do, just because I'm a sucker for the symbiotes now. But it would remains to be seen. One of these comics is a loot or upgrade tool, since they love talking about it in deep dive, since they get people in the comics and Marvel might do more easily. What do you mean as a loot or upgrade tool? Like, you mean like the stuff that we collect in game now that provide like stat bonuses? Is that what you mean? Sweet. I bet Scarlet Witch will be postponed until 2022. Doctor Strange as well, 23. Well, they're not even on like the leaked, like the data mine. They're not even in the files right now. So 2022 is probably a good bet for both of them, I would say. I agree, Venom would be awesome as playable character since he's been with the Avengers and the new King in Black storyline. And speaking of that, look at the storyline in the game in Null. Yeah, everything to do with Venom right now is like hot, you know? Like just... I'm such a sucker, man. I love Venom right now. So I'd be very happy with Venom being in this, or even just Venom being in Spider-Man 2, right? The Insomniac version. Keep the hype going, man. That's kind of what it is. Keep the hype going. I don't think Spider-Man's DLC was going to be a thing until Sony. Yeah, it wasn't going to be a thing because they need Sony needed to like sign off on it, but apparently it seems like Sony was the one that approached them, and then yeah, like it was Sony that initiated it. So because I guess like they had to. Venom is a cool villain. No, we like Venom as a hero in here. No, I'm just kidding. You can like Venom however you want. Venom is just cool in general. But I know some people prefer him as a hero versus a villain, or an anti-hero, you can call him, whatever it is. I think he could flip-flap back and forth so much that, you know, I think people like see Venom as like both, you know, depending on what the story needs. The morals are questionable. You just dodged my hammer like that? That's cool. Very cool. Can understand how Spider-Man will work combat and even traversal-wise based on how the level design is currently in the game, as well as Hulk needs a rework. I'm sorry, I love him, but his combat and traversal ain't it, Chief? Yeah, I mean, like that's gonna be like the most interesting thing, right? Is like the level design doesn't necessarily coincide with like a web-slinging hero. You know what I mean? So it's gonna be very interesting how they rectify the level design, and for the most part, a lot of it takes place indoors. With like Spider-Man, you know, it could work. Like I'm not gonna doubt them before I see anything. Like it totally could be something that works, but it's gonna be a very interesting situation if it looks bad. You know, I forget if I said this on the video with Stardust, but I said Spider-Man fandom will eat this game alive if this Spider-Man isn't like good. You know, there's a lot of pressure on Spider-Man more than any other character, I would argue, because Spider-Man fandom has such a high like. They expect so much out of this character, and they expect so much out of like iterations of him, that if you miss the mark, like Spider-Man fans will literally just go nuts, man. So I hope he's good for multiple reasons. That definitely is one of them too. That's definitely one of them too. Do you want to Spider-Man be an NPC support character for those Xbox users? Probably not. I don't know. But I don't think so. I think that's just rubbing salt in the wound, you know? Like, oh my god, look, Spider-Man can be an NPC support character, but you can't play him? Like, no, I don't think so. I think that's just asking for people to be upset more than they're already going to be. Yeah, but make the comics to grind and have like a star system as well. Certain comics together gives higher stats because the current loot not being cosmetic doesn't make sense. Makes people think they did as a way to... Oh, well, that's 100% J-Rob. That's literally why they did it, right? Like... They made loot not cosmetic because they went with a costume system in order to kind of do that, right? Now you can work both ways with it. You can do a marketplace costume system, but still do loot that kind of changes minimally things about it. But I think that just opens up like a lot more headache with the Marvel approval process than anything. But it is something that could work. I think in terms of like if anyone's expecting that to be a change that they make, I think the ship's already sailed. I think it's costumes from here on out. I don't think loot will ever be cosmetic. But you're definitely right that like they didn't make loot cosmetic because they wanted to sell costumes. You're 100% correct on that one. In terms of like making the comics to grind, it's tough to say, man. I've always said like the loot just needs to be more interactive with what you do, right? Like loot needs to do more to your character, right? Whether it's changing skills or whether it's adding different things to your skills, right? Changing the way you play your character. I think I'm more in line with that kind of thinking. However you get there to that end goal, I'm okay with. But that's where I'm kind of at with regards to like loot more than anything is like make loot more active in your play style. And there are some cases of that. But I think that's where I am personally when it comes to like loot. But if they have to revamp the whole system to get there, then I mean like it is what it is. I'm not gonna be too upset about it. Venom is awesome. Venom is awesome. Have you heard of Gotham Knights coming out? Because it looks pretty cool. Yeah, I've heard of Gotham Knights. It's definitely a game I'm cautiously interested in. I know there's a lot of hype coming around for it and like different things they're doing. I'm excited to see more of it. It won't be something I cover here on this channel, but there might be something in the play for me to cover it somewhere else if I enjoy the game a lot, you know? I think the one game I'm waiting to see on this channel specifically is Future Revolution. I'm going to try my darndest to get some sort of beta access, content creator access, whatever they do for Future Revolution, so I can make a judgment call if that's something I want to cover. Because that game, it's going to be interesting when that launches later this year. And I don't know, like I've said publicly, I don't know if I have high hopes for it, but it's going to be a very interesting game. And I think there's going to be some people upset with it, and I think there's going to be some people that are very happy with it. So we'll have to wait and see. But yeah, Gotham Knights, just to touch on Gotham Knights quickly, I think Gotham Knights looks very cool for people who are into like the DC side of like comic books. That too would probably move a lot like Batgirl and Gotham Knights, Black Widow, and Avengers. Yeah, probably. So true, they messed up on Spider-Man. Yes, they'll kill this game. Just think Wolverine in this game. Wow, Wolverine would be kind of cool. Wolverine would definitely be kind of cool. Oh, I didn't release my L2 in time. There we go. Whew. How can I get the patterns that people earn in game? So patterns are just kind of a drop, and I think the best way to do them still, someone can correct me if I'm wrong, they definitely nerfed DNA chests, but I think DNA chests and vaults are the best way to do them. I still think so. Thor Unworthy costume should have had the accurate hood and boot sandals. I haven't actually seen Unworthy in the comics in a long time. If there's stuff that's missing from Unworthy that is in the comics, it does kind of line up with like, you know, they definitely try to take existing assets and rework them. So like maybe they just didn't have time or the effort to like make those small details that that maybe they thought people wouldn't notice about. I definitely think that like something like that does kind of give more weight behind my theory of like why costumes are like why they are where they are, you know? Okay, let's not kill me. Good lord. Just kind of wasted that ult there, but we move, I guess. That's a mistake on their part because there are a ton of costumes people would have bought, especially if the game is good. The company's problem, their IP. That there's certain IP will sell themselves. People buy them now. They just won't put them out. We need big costumes with Doctor Strange, Iron Man, but with cosmetic effect, they need to put more effort into. That's the case. Yeah, I think it's just a matter of the manpower at this point. You know, I think it's honestly just probably a conversation around manpower and development resources than it is like the want or the need to do certain things, right? That's kind of where I'm at when it comes to certain things like that. It's definitely more in line with like there's probably like you know, there's only so many people that, you know, you have working on certain departments working on certain things, you know. So as other things get freed up, maybe there's more people that can look at some, like, you know, creating these other things for the game, like costumes with new assets and stuff like that, right? But no, I definitely hear the frustration on it, though. Like, don't get me wrong, I hear the frustration. I definitely think there's just more to it than, like, they don't want to or they don't feel like they have to. It's probably at this point more so to do with, like, just how many people they have, you know. So I think Crystal is like 300 to 400 people, but, you know, how many people are working on, like, existing character costumes, for example, right? You know, what would I ballpark that at? I don't even know. I don't even know where to begin with a ballpark number for that. And I think that's kind of the issue, is like, how many people are working on, you know, a Thor costume? You know, is it just one person that works on, like, one Thor costume, one person that works on, like, an Iron Man costume, or, you know, versus, like, how many people are working on, like, Black Panther stuff, right? Or how many people are working on Spider-Man stuff, or, you know what I mean? Like, it's so tough to say, man. It's so tough to say. What kind of costumes would you want to see? I've always said Superior Iron Man and Hydra Cap are, like, my two most wanted ones. Those for me, if they brought out, like, a Hydra Cap, I would probably never use a different Captain America skin for as long as the game existed, to be honest with you. That is, like, how much I'm into that skin, and it, like, for me, that's, like, the #1 skin. A Superior Iron Man is also a good one. Superior Spider-Man, when Spider-Man comes out, that's a skin that I really enjoy. It's a run I really enjoy. I'm not too familiar with, like, Miss Marvel or Black Widow skins, or outfits, I should say, sorry, to, like, pick one that I would, like, that's the one I want. I think the white suit from her movie looks pretty cool, but in terms of, like, Black Widow stuff, there's not one that really comes to my head. Thor, I don't really care too much about Thor. King Thor would be kind of cool, I guess. Like, King Thor would be kind of cool. Storm from her Avengers comic run in this game would be epic. Yeah, I mean, lots of people want Storm. Lots of people want Storm.
That's not me. Never has been.
Do the stars make a huge difference? Like, is the 3-star stuff as good as the 4-5? No. So I'm pretty sure the stars correspond to, like, the gear, like, the stat rules on it. So you always want to try and get 4 to 5 stars. If JJ's still in here, JJ is like, very in tune with the build side of the game, or anyone else in here who can answer. You definitely want to get 4 to 5 stars, I believe, because it's just, like, higher stat rules on it. Who has the Marvel IP, Square or Crystal Dynamics? So what happens is, like, Square makes the deal with Marvel Games, and then from there they assign, like, a development studio to work on it, right? So Square signs the deal, and then they basically put, like, a studio on to, like, make the game, which they put Crystal Dynamics as lead, and they put Eidos as, like, the support studio, as well as, like, then Crystal Dynamics Northwest was made. So yeah, so that's kind of how that works. It's tough to say, like, you know, how much money Square wanted to throw at this. I don't think, when I look at, like, a lot of the stuff, like, a lot of the studios that Square has, like, Eidos was probably the one that they probably could have helped the most, and it seems like they did. But then Eidos has 4 games in production right now themselves, right? So, like, how much, like, is there even enough resources for Eidos to even be a support studio for a game right now, right? Like, that's the question too, right? Like, it seems like they had as much resources as they realistically could before launch. Then after launch, it was Crystal, because that's all they really could afford to do. You know, unfortunately, like, even if they throw more developers at it, like, developers need time to, like, learn learn the engine and do all this other stuff, right? So would it be an instant fix? But it definitely would be a fix long term, I guess. You know what I mean? But it unfortunately, it's just, like, it is what it is at this point, you know? As much as I would love them to, like, you know, hire 200 more developers, even if it takes them 3-4 months to get, you know, acclimated, you know, it's just probably not going to happen. The best we can hope for is that, you know, COVID calms down enough in California that they feel comfortable going back to the office, and that they can comfortably work in the office now with, like, their equipment, their internet, you know, their communication being back to where it was, and then they can, you know, pump out content faster than what they were, right? That's like the more realistic hope than, you know, hoping Square throws a bunch more money at it in terms of, like, developers and just manpower, you know? They took out loot just to sell skins. Well, it's a little different than that. It's a little different than that, but you're kind of on the right track there. Looking forward to the new Kamala skin this week. Miller's teases what it looked like. I'm happy. I mean, I think that's the only one that's still in the files, apparently, according to Miller, right? I'd have to ask him, but I think it has to be that one, unless they've added another one.
We have reached the hive's
It's a huge open world desert. Little groups of robots spawning in corners. Dude, Black Widow's this costume from Secret Wars that is epic. Oh, really? I'll have to look it up. What's it? Does it have like a name for it? Looking forward to the new Miss Marvel skins coming. Yeah, I hope it's like a really good skin, man. I hope people who play Miss Marvel are like really happy with it. I'm not like a big Miss Marvel fan, so like a lot of the skins don't really reach out to me. You know, like it's not like I look at some of the skins, I'm like, yeah, it's like cool, but it's not like something I want to buy. But I hope for the people who do play Miss Marvel, who see these skins, including the one this week that's coming up, they're like, that's my skin. Like I need that skin. You know, I hope you guys get that this week. Which one's better, Resolve or Resilience? I guess it depends on the character and like the build you're going for. Resolve. Andrew says Resolve. I think it all kind of depends like context wise. No. I'm gonna say honestly, man. In terms of like me, I'm not really someone who I'm trying to do better at kind of learning more about like the loot system and how everything kind of plays in sort of like the micro sense, right? How like different stats affect each other and everything like that, because like that is part of like where I'm lacking in some regards when I talk about the game. So I am trying to learn a little bit of it, but there's definitely a lot of people even in this chat right now who definitely know a lot more about the loot and the gear and the stat system than I do. So I would go with Andrew on this one. If Andrew says Resolve is the better one at this point, I don't know enough to say otherwise, so I would probably just trust him. How are you feeling about the custom harm room? I'm excited, man. In my what I want for 2021 video, this was one of the things I said I wanted. You know, like the harm room to be kind of made useful again. So it's nice when I put out a video a few months ago and then, you know, they're like, yeah, okay, there you go, you know. Not saying like I had any fucking effect on it or whatever, but like it's nice to see them like doing things that like people have talked about and they've wanted, you know what I mean? So I'm excited for it. I think there's more to be done with it in the future. I think there's more room to play within that space, you know, whether you add like exclusive loot to it, you add modifiers to it. You know, I've seen some people talk about environments to it. You know, whether you do all these things, I think there's still more to do with it. But I think this is a great first step, and I'm really excited to see what kind of implementation it has moving forward. So it's a good thing. It's a good thing. I'll definitely give it a whirl. We'll definitely see what it's all about. It probably won't be like my primary thing to do, but it's definitely going to be something I'll definitely experience and, you know, kind of try it out. Which one has more protection for Iron Man or Hulk? Or Iron Man and Hulk? I don't know. I don't play those characters. I actually, like, honest to God, I don't play those characters at all.
Another enemy defeated.
I've done the last Avengers 2 times, once on Brutal and once on Normal. Got the same exotic I thought I was supposed to drop different exotics. I think it's a chance, man. It's a chance to drop different exotics. So, like, there's, like, a loot pool that it pulls from, and, like, you could get very unlucky. And get like the same exotic, right? But like that exotic could have like a different stat breakdown in it, right? So yeah, it's definitely not like a different exotic guaranteed every time. It's like there's a chance. There's always a chance, you know, just like there's always a chance you do a Last Avenger Standing before and you didn't get anything that you wanted, right? There's always a chance with these games, you know. If you ask KHJJ, he'll tell you that the chance to get a perfect exotic from Tachyon Rifts is like very low and he wants that buffed, right? When do you think they'll be back on track for characters and content every month with how they announced release Hawkeye shows it's too much for them to do a different approach? I think currently it is kind of where it is right now. I think, like I said, you gotta have to wait and see how COVID does in California and when they move back to the offices. I think once they move back to the offices, you'll see like a team that, you know, is probably pushing out things faster, that works a little bit faster, that could probably bring out content faster. If you're talking about the situation where they're working from home still, I think we've kind of seen the pace that they're working at. So you just kind of have to hope that the outside forces that kind of affect the way they work kind of take shape differently than what they are now.
Well done, Avengers. A hearty congratulations is in order. I would high-five you.
Search Black Widow Secret Wars costume. See Spider Goggles and a costume somewhat similar to Silk. Oh, really? Sick. I'll definitely check that out. Hold on. No unworthy, you disappoint me. Just sorry, just got home from the gym. You're good, man. You're good. How's the gym, brother? Listen, don't always want to use unworthy, all right? Sometimes you got to switch it up a little bit. Everyone who plays Thor plays unworthy. I'm just trying to give the people something different, you know? All right. Let's get all of these purples and blues out of here. My goodness. More purples and blues than I know what to do with. This is why they need like a mass dismantle, you know? Like a mass dismantle would be so good right now. But we're going to sit here and play Inventory Simulator, I guess. All right. Brooks, you got to send me your PlayStation again, just so I can invite you in. I'm sorry. I was like Whiskers something, right? Sorry, dude. But definitely going to get you in to play some games. All right. Let's go inventory locker. Binding of the Thunderer. All right, let's see what this is. Over here. What is this one? Experimental pin particle emitter. Pinned enemies take particle. So it's this. Is it like the same thing almost? It is the same exotic. Oh no, it's the same exotic, dude. Oh, range power attacks deal particle damage, dispersing pin particles on impact, increasing the amount of enemies that can target them. It's the same exotic, just different. Unbelievable. Urban Whisker 4. Okay. That is such a buzzkill, man. You do all that to get the same exotic. Just what I was saying. Just what I was saying, man. I was saying there's always a chance you get the same one, and it came and bit me in the butt, dude. Unbelievable. All right, Urban Whisker. Urban Whisker. All right, Brooks, whatever you want to play, I'm totally cool with it. Is Horde mode coming in March 18th? But it's only tied to Harmon. They have a Horde survival mode. So I don't know. Maybe this is very. I don't know if I would call it a Horde mode specifically, because Horde mode. I don't know if there's going to be waves to it. I don't know how it's going to like how the true functionality of that lies. I don't know if I would call it a Horde mode yet. But what I can say though is it seems like it's only tied to the harm room. So I would only expect that to come to the harm room itself, because like that's what it was tied down to. Like the announcement was like custom harm rooms, blah, 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 right? So I wouldn't expect that to be anywhere else. I just don't know if I would call it a Horde mode until I see more, you know? Because usually when you say Horde mode, people expect a certain things. Like there's like a checklist of things that come with a Horde mode specifically. I don't know if I'm there yet in calling it one. Now, the skin you have and the recolors are the best for Thor. At least someone here has taste. Right, Caged? No taste, dude. Appreciate that, Micah. Askarali? What's up? See, I told you? You did, man. You did. Definitely took my words and put them right in. Yeah, I mean, unfortunately, RNG is nice, and sometimes RNG is not nice. Can I play with you too? Yeah, of course. J-Rob, what's your PlayStation, dude? For real. Anyone's more than welcome to play, man. Definitely, it's not like you have to do anything or whatever. Like anyone and everyone is more than welcome to play when I'm on stream, or even when I'm off stream, and you see me online. Like, never a big deal. I just want to stack heroic rating. Can I just do that? Doesn't seem like I can with any of these. Like, I just want to stack heroic rating, like some of these people did, or still do, I guess. Anything I can play, really? Oh, right. Brooks is 87. Okay, that's right. So I'm going to switch to, maybe I'll switch to my Kamala. That's right. That's a good idea. I'll switch to my Kamala then. Looking to join? Sounds good. I need more Thor skins for my collection. Yeah, if I had to hear any more that you want more Thor skins, young man, I'm going to lose it. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. Okay, J-Rob, 13. I got you. Boom. Boom. Wait. What'd that say? Can't send the friend request due to this player's privacy setting. J-Rob, you're going to have to add me, man. It's just High Ruler. You've made your profile private, my man. All right, Askar. I'm gonna mispronounce your name, dude. I'm so sorry. I hope you don't feel offended, because I can't speak any sort of language, even English. Man, I'm so mad when I got the same job as Piss, bro. Funny seeing as I mentioned, dude. I mean, it happens that way sometimes, man. You know what I mean? Like, it definitely, like I said, definitely put my words back in my mouth. That's for sure. Hello, I'm Korean. I just want to ask you questions. Can you answer me? I will try my very best to answer you, of course. I played with 150s before, but I'll be honest, I can hang you out a few times, but hey, I can still hang. It's all good, man. I don't mind. I don't mind. I totally don't mind. Okay. Perfect. All right. I'm just waiting for J-Rob. Whoever Canada is, I'll definitely try to get you in. I'll probably play like 3-4 runs of whatever we do. And then I'll definitely try, if anyone out there is trying to get in, I would definitely try to get as many people. We need a Cosmic King Thor skin. Micah, Rise is probably one of the biggest fans of Thor skins that I know of, and he just wants Thor skins no matter what they are. So yeah, I mean, like, you Thor fans need some skins, man. I feel you. Yo, Hemi King, what's up, man? How you doing? Am coming? Perfect, dude. Did you send me a friend request, J-Rob? All right. Hi, I'm Canada. What the hell? Or WTH. I don't know if that stands for what the hell. Oh, it does. It stands for your name. I'm so sorry, dude. I'll be available in a little bit. Sounds good, man. I'm so sorry. I see WTH and I automatically think, what the hell? Oh, that's brutal. That's brutal. I'm sorry, dude. What a moment. Good God. I'm so sorry. All right, J-Rob. There you are. I sent it. I got you, dude. Sent you an invite. Ask her Ali. I'm so sorry, man. I'm gonna mispronounce your name every single time. Definitely. I sent you an. Oh, you're in. Okay. Oh, you're in. Perfect. Yeah, didn't think about that when making the name. No, you're good, man. You're good. I should have looked at your name in chat. You're totally fine, man. I'm still working. Dibs next week. You're good. Yeah, I should. Hopefully, I'm not working next week on Monday. It's kind of like a week-to-week thing right now, Leafy, depending on when I'm working. But either way, dude, whether it's like next Monday or next Tuesday, we'll get you in for sure, brother. Had other Canadians tell me I was insulting the country? No, dude. It's a funny username. I just I don't get insulted or offended or whatever. You're totally cool, man. You're totally cool. I take back my comment, but I have no regrets. Wait, what comment? You made a comment? You said hello. Why would you take that back? Don't take back your hello. I'm here Monday or Tuesday. What do you do for work, bro? I just work at like a local like sporting venue. It's just like a local kind of place for like clubs and whatnot. So basically I just work and do maintenance there. And I say maintenance, but it's like, right now I'm just like taking temperatures, I'm cleaning the place. So, when I'm working, it's like, it's like like tomorrow, for example, I work 4:30 to midnight, and then Wednesday I work 4:30 to midnight. Right. So it's like just night shifts when people are in the building, essentially. I'm just there in case something goes wrong, Dang, I think my other comment got hidden or something. Oh, maybe. That's weird. There's still a lot about YouTube. Like, I'm still kind of new to YouTube streaming. So there's still, there's some functionality that I'm not totally understanding yet when it comes to the chat specifically. I know there's been some things with chat where people's messages have, disappeared or, they get deleted or whatever. And it's, stuff that I've never even touched. So, I'm still trying to learn as much as I can. I did invite you, J-Rob. Oh, I totally scrolled past you, too. So, yeah. So, if something gets hidden like that, I have no idea. I've tried to enable everything so people can just kind of say whatever. Within reason, obviously. I think there might be, I don't even think I have a profanity filter. But, obviously, don't say anything crazy. But, yeah, for something like that, I have no idea, dude. I have no idea. It's a math thing. Add up the number. I add the number up, all melee / range / defense / heroic. I know it's a way you can have 100 in all hero statistic. Oh, that's a good way to do it. If you say something wrong like I have in the past, YouTube or Autobot deletes it. That might be a YouTube thing, but I think yeah, that's interesting. I think I'll have to like reach out to some people who I know stream on YouTube and kind of like get them to sit me down and like explain like how things work in comparison to like Twitch, for example. Yeah, there's just still stuff I'm not 100% on. But yeah, J-Rob, I sent you an invite, man. I don't know if there's something with your privacy settings. I don't know if you can like join on me. Let me try this. There, I should be online now. Try and join on me if you can and see if that works that way. And we'll see if that works. You like locked your profile down, man. Maybe that's why you're not getting my invites, brother. But yeah. All right. Let's see. So you say look at your stats and add, and there's a way to get them all up over 100. So precision is pretty low at 46. And you're talking all of these stats too, right, Kino? So you're talking all of these different ones here too. I swear for Thor, you just kind of stack your heroic rating, right? I swear that's what you do. You just stack this. I have to get some catalyst to level up. Can we go to the helicarrier? Yeah, of course. Of course. No problem, dude. We can definitely go to the helicarrier. Travel to Outpost, man. Let's do it. Another player is currently joining. Oh, hold on. Looks like Oh, there he is. J-Rob. We in. Let me join now. Perfect. All right, we just got to go to the helicarrier quick for Brooks. Shouldn't take too long. There's a thing on YouTube where if I say naughty word, it gets back to reviewed from mods. Not a big fan, but I get why it was implemented. Uh-oh. You said a naughty word, my friend. Uh-oh. I sent a friend request? All right, bro. Let me get you, dude. I got you. This is you. I got a bunch of requests. Do you guys get a lot of requests from, like, obvious bots on PlayStation? Yeah, I'm going to say that's probably a real person. Homespun Rent 5, Bygone Wardrobe 3. This is probably a real person. It's got PlayStation Plus. Havoc, probably a real person. Then you get like Lady XX X9 or Girl 54Q. Like it's just like, you know, how obvious can you make your bots names? You know, you think we'll get the small patch this week or next? The small patch will be this week. The small patch that will include the Iron Man fixes and I want to say the King Hulk one as well, but I'm not 100% on that one due to the way they worded that in the dev stream. So Iron Man fixes will be this week. I don't know if King Hulk will be this week as well, but there will be a patch this week. So if you play Iron Man and you're tired of like the sound glitching and the status and the battery effect not working on the missiles, that will be fixed this week. Yeah, the other way of saying foreskin. Ooze, I got you. A lot of requests and weird messages from bots. Yeah, it's so weird, man. Just PlayStation, I guess, you know? Just PlayStation. I don't know if people fall for that. I guess like if you're on your phone and you have the PlayStation messages on your phone, then you can like click the link. But other than that, it's like I'm not gonna like go and like type in like your 20 character link into my computer. You know, when it already looks suspect. Like, it's like, come on, guys. Really?
Thor, how's it going?
Did I load in with you guys? I didn't. I did. Wait, are you guys all loaded in? Thor! I can't tell if they're all loaded in. Damn, Sony hack still getting us years later. Honestly, right? It was all a long con, you know? Like, they were... Oh, no. Oh, okay. They're just standing still waiting. Okay, we're chilling. Dude, you guys like tripped me up there. I thought you guys weren't loaded in. It was all a long con, you know? When the hack happened in 2014, it's not like they wanted anything. They just want to input their bots into the system. And now, years later, they're taking advantage of that inside access, man. Crazy. All right, Brooks is ready. So I'm totally cool with whatever you guys want to play. There's nothing that jumps out to me and says, like, we should play this. So if anyone wants to pick whatever they need to do, whether that's a daily or a certain mission, whether it's, you know, your weekly stuff that you need to do, totally cool with whatever you guys want to play. You guys can just totally pick it. I'm just along for the ride at this point. Let you guys kind of have the wheel on this one. Let the game begin. There it is. There it is. Uh-oh. Widow canceled. Uh-oh, are we going to get fighting now? Challenge 3. Challenge 3. All right, let's do it. Add all the melee, all range, and etc. and divided by 4. Oh, so that's how you do it. Okay, interesting. I'm gonna sit down. I think it's one of those things where I'm gonna have to sit down like one night and just kind of go through it. You know, get a bunch of gear and then just like sit down and just like really go through it. You know. Oh, I thought your bot were different than everyone else because of the websites you show me. Wait, what? Wait, what? What are you talking about?
Damn, it's getting hard to keep up with AIM's expansion. We can't sleep on this, Cap.
Agreed. Jarvis?
I think that cap skin is still really good, man. I actually really like that cap skin.
Whatever they've built is mostly underground. I'm sending you its location now.
No telling what we're gonna find in there.
Nothing good. Let's gear up and head out.
I mean, I'll be looking for the next video. Thanks for answering my question. Yo, Micah, no problem, dude. Thanks for hanging out for a little bit. Hope you have a good rest of your Monday night, man. You know what waifu said I'm talking about? Yeah, there's a few of those, man. But that's all in my past, Cage. It's all in my past. All right, guys. Let's get in here. Let's fight some robots. Let's fight some robots. All right, you know what? Just for you guys, though, we will do Unworthy, all right? We'll change it up. For this mission, we'll play as Unworthy. Why not?
The structure has a smaller footprint than I would expect. I suspect they want to keep whatever this facility
Let's
is
do it.
secret.
Damn, I want to hop on so bad, dang.
Nothing escapes your notice.
I'm flattered, Miss Romanoff. AIM has certainly taxed my processing power.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I just got a tweet by YouTube there. I had an issue, and they told me how to fix it. So thanks, YouTube. Leafy, man, you'll definitely get some games in. I was gonna say tomorrow, but next week for sure, brother. I've been thinking of doing like maybe twice a week with streams. I don't know how I feel about that right now, but you'll definitely have some opportunities to get some games in, man. All right, so who's our healer? I think it's everyone for themselves, Brooks. Late night grind for me. Damn. I think once I'm done this, like I said, I'm gonna play like 3-4 more. I think after that, I'm gonna read some comics tonight. Get into bed, read some comics. I gotta read some more Venom. I got some Avengers I gotta read. I got some Spider-Man I gotta read. I'm saving my Captain America. I just ordered the first 4 volumes of the latest Captain America run, and I'm saving those for when I go to work tomorrow, actually. But I hear you, man. Late night grinding is always a fun thing to do, man. Not enough content to be worth it, my dude. I can barely play 1 a week. Yeah, I mean that's kind of the thing. I think once more content comes out, it'll definitely be like I'll be here a lot more, you know, in the live section. It's just a matter of like waiting for it, you know. Which is exciting for me, right? Like that's the exciting part is like when that happens, like you guys will be seeing so much of me, you'll be sick of me eventually, right? But you know, just waiting to get there is like the unfortunate part. What's up, Carson? How you doing, man? Can't wait for Clint 17 days. Dude, it's, you know what? Time's just kind of flying, man. The more I think about it, like, time is just honestly flying. It's crazy how, like, you know, I haven't really been focusing on the date itself, but now it's, like, March 1st, and it's just, like, you know, it's crazy how things happen. And Falcon the Winter Soldier also comes out. Yeah, I mean, like, from the middle of March on, Carson, it's going to be a very busy time, you know, for anything you're into, right? Whether it's movies or TV or games, right? You know, if you like Avengers, you know, it's going to be very busy. If you like Marvel TV, it's going to be very busy. If you like movies, it's going to be very busy, right? Like Justice League and then Godzilla vs. Kong. Like, there's so much there, you know? I'm weirdly excited to be playing the actual PS5 version of this game. I wouldn't say weird. I don't say, you know, I don't want to classify that as weirdly. Like, you know, I think like it's good to be excited for it. You know, I'm excited to see like everything that comes with it. You know,
Enemies must be defeated.
I'm still debating if I want to buy a 4K monitor to go with it. You know, like, you know, as I'm playing on, you know, my PS5, like, do I want to put money into like a 4K monitor right now, or do I want to wait until like more things come out so I'm playing this a lot more, right? But I think it's cool. Like, I think it's a good thing. I'm glad people are excited for, like, you know, kind of what they've shown. You know, it's good. It's good. Whether you're excited for Hawkeye, or whether you're excited for the next gen versions, or whether you're excited for the custom harm rooms now, like, it's not like people don't want to play the game or people don't want to experience the new things that they are adding. It's just like, you know, you can argue like the frequency of it kind of sucks, or the frequency of the communication kind of sucks, and that's kind of where it hurts them. But like when new things come out, people do get excited. It's just like, you know, you just need more of those new things, right? And Justice League is coming out too. That's right. That's right. The Snyder Cut. Wait for King vs. Godzilla. My money is on Kong. Ooh, oh, yikes. I don't know about that one, man. If you're putting your money on King Kong versus Godzilla, you are a big fan. And I appreciate that about you, Carson. I appreciate that about you, dude. That is... Not a lot of people put their money on King Kong versus Godzilla, man. I'm impressed. On PS5 point, I imagine that was a very heavy dev lift and the priority of relaunch and juice sales. Oh yeah, of course, of course. It would be really interesting to see if like campaign replay is going to be a part of that. I don't necessarily think it will be, but it's a perfect opportunity for it to be. But we'll just have to wait and see if it comes there or if it comes a little bit after. I would think that if it was coming, they would have talked about it, but like, who knows, right? You know, you're launching your next gen versions and you can't replay the campaign alongside it. Like, that's a very big missed opportunity there. So we'll have to wait and see on that one. Just watched some leak footage of Miss Marvel Disney Plus. Nothing to write home about. Guessing she was attempting to climb back into her room window on her friend's shoulder. Did get a look at her costume, however, I think. Yeah, the Miss Marvel show is one that I think is going to be one of those more interesting ones, you know? I think it's going to be a good show. I think the problem is like it's such a new character and people aren't familiar with her. You know, it's a very new actress as well. Like, she's only done like a few small things. That like there's a lot there that could go against it. But I think, you know, the MCU can almost sell anything. You know, we haven't really seen anything in the MCU really fail. So I mean, I'm excited for it. I'm excited, you know, for the mythos of like Miss Marvel and, you know, Captain Marvel and how that all plays out. Like, those are very fun relationships in the comics, and it's exciting to know that they're going to carry out on screen now. So we'll see. We'll see. You like WandaVision? I love WandaVision. I love WandaVision. I'm very sad that WandaVision's ending. I don't know how many people have not watched the last episode yet, so I'm very careful about what I say. But the last episode was very heartbreaking. Very, very heartbreaking. So, I don't know if I'm totally ready for Friday. You know, like it's there's so much there that's just so heartbreaking about it, but it's so good. Like Elizabeth Olsen, Paul Bettany, like they're just carrying that show. Just the acting is so good. The acting is just so good. You know. And like that's one of the cool things about the TV format is like there's so much that we wouldn't get in a movie that they can explore in a TV format, and it's just so good. I'm excited for Hawkeye, especially his cosmetics. The story looks so interesting. The Wastelands area looks unique and awesome. True. I mean, like, that's the cool thing, right? I mean, the Wastelands look amazing, right? I wish they would show more of the Wastelands, but you know, that's obviously up to them to decide what they can show or what they can't show or what they want to leave out for us to explore and find. Hawkeye himself looks very cool. You know, as I said, they really did Hawkeye dirty a little bit when it came to the deep dive, right? They kept all the best footage for the press kit, and what we got wasn't really that great, which is like very weird. But for anyone who's seen that press footage, like, you know, like, Hawkeye does look pretty freaking cool. And it'll be very cool to have, like, an animator on the 12th, so that dev stream on the 12th, I think I'll be covering that. As long as I'm not working, I'll just make sure I'm not working. That with, like, the animator, and then, like, with Nicole, or no, sorry, Hannah, for the storyline. Like, there's just so much there. And then Scott Walters, obviously, for, like, the combat. Like, there's just so much there on that dev stream that I think people should be very excited for the 12th. As, like, the teaser and the setup for Future Imperfect on the 18th. That'll be a very cool dev stream. And I'm actually very excited for that dev stream. I had a conversation with Andy in December about him trying to involve other developers into dev streams on a weekly basis. And it's nice to see that he's able to do that and bring on a lot of these other developers that we don't get to know about or don't get to hear about. Because there's just so much about the game that I think is very cool. And it's nice to see, like, the showcase, you know, showcasing different parts of game development, like what makes these characters and places unique. And I hope it goes well. I hope the 12th really goes well, and I hope people enjoy it. Is Clint version of Hawkeye going to be a completely different feel from Kate? Flair, they're going to be obviously some similarities there. Like, it's not going to be like a total, like, there'll be enough there that you look at it and you're like, this feels different. But there'll also be, like, probably some similarities where it is a bow character with a sword. So, you know, it's not going to be like a totally different character. But there'll be enough there that, you know, it will be different.
Name's gonna start with K.
The season finale will blow people away. I've seen some leaks and some rumors, and yeah, that season finale is gonna be really good. It's gonna be really good. I don't know if I'm ready for it. I'm, like, ready, but, like, not ready. You know what I mean? I'm excited for Eternals. I have no idea about the Eternals. Kevin Feige said it was the best project yet. Well, the director just won. What's her name? Sorry, Is it Chloe Zhao? She's the director, right? She said, like, she's basing, like, the action off The Revenant, and then she just won something at the Golden Globes, right? Or I could totally be mixing it up, but she seems really good. Like, from everything I've heard about her, she seems really good. The cast in Eternals is, like, star-studded. Like they brought out some heavy hitters for Eternals that I'm excited about. I'm very excited for the Eternals. Like you, I don't know anything about them, you know, but just kind of, like, everything I know that's surrounding the Eternals right now, I think like, the property is there, and I think the people surrounding that property are there to, like, make it as good as it can be. I think it's going to be one that people don't really expect to do as well as it will, and it'll blow people away a little bit. I mean, Kong did bring Stormbreaker. Yeah, true enough. WandaVision's completely blown me away. They really deserve recognition at the awards next year. They do, honestly. It would be a crime if, like, Olsen and Bettany don't get any recognition for their acting. What a crime it would be. I'm with him. I have Kong. Also, really want Black Widow to be released already. Same. I mean, Disney could put, like, a price on it, and I would probably pay it at this point just to get it over with. You know, if they said, like, it's like $40, I'd cry, but I would do it because, like, at this point, like, just get the movie out there, you know? I'm worried it's going to be Utah balance with Kree Sentinel scattered around. I mean, since we haven't seen a lot of his shipway, I think that's a very valid concern. I think if we had seen more to kind of ease those concerns, similarly to the Hawkeye-Kate debate, too, the more that's shown could definitely ease a lot of those concerns. And because they haven't shown a lot of the wastelands yet, that is a very valid concern, man. That is, you know. It's definitely, like, a lot of it's, like, wait and see approach, you know, instead of, like, them kind of coming out and saying, like, this is how it's different. This is what to expect. Like, this, you know, this and that, this and that. It definitely will be, like, a wait and see kind of thing, you know. Yeah, that's her name. She won a Golden Globe last night, correct? Yeah. Yeah, she apparently is, like, really good, man. So Eternals should be really cool. You have to remember King Kong did bring Stormbreaker, and we know that thing cut off Thanos' head. True. Yeah, I guess if you cut off Thanos' head, Godzilla really isn't too much of an issue with Stormbreaker, right? Looks like I'm our healer today. Thanks, Brooks. Appreciate you, dude. Like that Marvel Studios is going with lesser known titles like Shang-Chi. True. I mean, from everything I've heard about Shang-Chi, if you like the Mortal Kombat movie, you should like Shang-Chi. You know what I mean? Like, if you like fighting and tournaments and crazy powers, like Shang-Chi will definitely be up there in terms of like, you know, Mortal Kombat. So yeah, Shang-Chi should be very cool. There was like a Lego leak too about Shang-Chi, and it's just like, it's crazy. Like that's gonna be a kick-ass movie as well. I'm super excited for that. I look at like the lineup of like Phase 4, and I'm like, I want to see every single piece of this content, like this movie, TV, all of it. You know, there's nothing I look at. I'm like, yeah, I'm like tentatively excited. No, like everything, I'm like, yeah, I'm fucking excited. Like, let's go. Maybe at this point Black Widow, but I think that's extenuating circumstances more than anything. I haven't really watched WandaVision. Is it good? Core Night, man. If you have Disney Plus, dude, and you got some time to kill, I would say WandaVision is really good. It's a slow burn, so don't expect like crazy MCU action. It's definitely a slow burn, but I think the acting is so good, man, that it's just such a fun ride all the way through. So yeah, if you have Disney Plus, dude, definitely highly recommend you taking some time out of, you know, your day here and there when you can and watching WandaVision. It's so good, man. It's so good. I also just pay the Disney Plus premium for Widow. Yeah, I think I would at this point too. Obviously, you know, there is a limit to like what I would pay, but I think if they kept it reasonable at this point, I would probably pay it. Yeah. I got you. I got you. What's up, though, Malty? How you doing, buddy? I also want Scarlett Johansson to get her 1 billion plus movie. True. I don't know if it's going to do 1 billion plus anymore, which is such a shame, you know? Which is such a shame. I don't know, like, it sucks. It sucks, you know? And I think that's why they're not releasing it, you know? Like how Raya, was it Maya or Raya and the Last Dragon, or a lot of these other studios are doing, because I think they see it as a 1 billion plus movie, and I think they like, you know, Marvel Studios feels like they owe it to Scarlett to try and, you know, get the movie to make the most money as it can. Obviously, like, it's not going to affect her paycheck in any way, but I think they feel like they owe it to her to get this movie as much as it can, to make it as a big of an event as they can, because it is her last hurrah, right? So, but I don't know if it's going to make 1 billion anymore because of all the things happening, but I'd like to be proven wrong, you know? If it's a good movie and does well, I would love to be proven wrong, you know? I wish the Premium Plus wasn't $30. I feel it's a little greedy. In some ways, I agree with you, man. You know, in some ways, I do agree with you, but then I think about, like, going to the movies itself, right? I'm a sucker for the movie experience, right? I like the nice seats. I like the popcorn. I like the drink. I like the candy. So, like, a solo movie adventure for me is, like, $50. So, you know, when I think about like $30 just to sit on my couch with like my own stuff and watch it, I'm like, yeah, okay, sure, whatever. Like, you know, I'm not having to pay like crazy movie theater prices for everything else. But I do see in like the other way, it's like $30 for like a movie you're renting. Essentially, it's like, yeah, I do see both sides of it. You know, I do definitely see both sides of it. Yo, what's up, Lejeune? What's up, buddy? What are you saying tonight, man? Already paid for a subscription for Hulu, Disney, and ESPN. I don't even use. Oh my god, they got you over the barrel, dude. Want to surprise me? Who you think? I think Doctor Strange will show. I think Dormammu has something to do with it. Ooh, I haven't seen Dormammu come up. Doctor Strange more than likely. I wonder who is after Spider-Man and Black Panther. There's a few names floating. Winter Soldier, She-Hulk. You know. I still haven't picked the game up yet. You think the PS5 upgrade would be a good time to wait till more characters are out? You know what, BH? The 18th is probably a good time, man. You have the upgraded version, right? And you haven't played the campaign yet. The campaign would be a good time to get in. Then you have Kate's story. Then you have Hawkeye's story, right? I think the 18th, if you haven't picked the game up, is probably as good as a time as it will be for the next few months to pick it up, man. And then everything else after that will just kind of be cherry on top to the multiplayer experience. But I definitely think the 18th is probably as good as a time as ever if you're interested in picking the game up. And Scarlett Joe isn't going to make as much as she would on the back end, I bet. I think Robert Downey made a cut of the box. Yeah, I think he had a very specific deal that the rest of them didn't have. So I think her is just like a straight pay. How you doing, Assemble? But yeah, I can see Black Widow making $1 billion now. Hope Shang-Chi can come out in theaters, make $1 billion though. True. I'm doing all right though, man. I'm just chilling, you know. Just hanging out with you guys tonight, just playing some games, talking some movies and games or whatever. But you know how it is, bro. Just another night. Just another night. He got additional 55 million thing from box office cut of Endgame. Yeah, that's crazy, eh? That's crazy. Imagine. It's not like old school renting though. You own the title, gets released for free on Disney Plus, and you get it for. Is that the way how Premiere Plus works? I'm totally not in the know with Premiere Plus. I thought he only had it for like a certain amount of hours. I could totally be wrong on that. Watch it. Yeah, if you haven't seen WandaVision, watch it. I got Disney Plus. I don't know if I'll have it for long though. I mean, Core, I would definitely say before you get rid of it, obviously Mandalorian's really good. WandaVision's really good. And then you have Falcon and the Winter Soldier, which is also coming out this month, man. There will be like MCU content for like most of the year, you know? Game is on sale right now and all free DLCs. Yeah, I mean, like if you had the option to buy the game for like $30-$40, depending on your currency and where you are, I think $30-$40 right now is like a great deal for the game, right? If you don't know really anything, you haven't really seen the campaign, you haven't really seen anything to do with the characters or anything like that, like I think you're walking into a pretty decent experience, fresh and new. I think a lot of people are jaded because like we've been with this game since September, right? And I think that just kind of is the way it is. But I think if you're just kind of coming in new at this point, like it's a fun game, man. Like don't get me wrong, like I rag on this game quite a bit. A lot of people here rag on this game quite a bit, but it's because we want the game to be better. We don't want to see the game kind of just wither and die, right? But yeah, definitely on the 18th, if you haven't picked it up yet, if you're fresh to the game, the 18th is probably like the best place. All right, guys, you guys pick whatever you want to play, man. You guys are totally in control of like what you guys want to do. Do you have to beat Kate's story to play Hawkeye? Great question. I would safely assume yes, just for story content wise. Yes. I don't know if they'll lock it out so you haven't done every mission, you can't play it. But I think if you want to follow the story, including the cliffhanger at the end of Kate's operation, I think it would make sense to play her operation all the way through. Yeah, you own the movie. I had that with Mulan. Oh, really? Oh, that's interesting. Okay. What did you think of Mulan? Did you like it? I know you've probably been asked this multiple times, but how do you think Spider-Man will play? Hopefully good. You're right, I've been asked it a lot of times, but I'm okay with answering it a lot of times. I'm very cautiously hopeful for Spider-Man. Obviously, the combat team has done really well with the characters this far. So, like, in terms of, like, you know, I think he'll be fun to play. I think people have the Insomniac version on a pedestal, and my worry is that it's like the defining video game Spider-Man, and I don't know if this one will reach it. But I think if you're looking for a fun character, I think Spider-Man will be a lot of fun. There's a few things I'm worried about, one of them being the traversal and the web slinging, and how that is going to take shape in the game as it is. But I think there's reason to be hopeful, and there's reasons to be very nervous. But in terms of like actual combat, the skills and how that it'll be fine. It's just there's a few things regarding it that could be very, very murky. I didn't like it that much. Only reason I bought it is because I'm hoping they would do the same release. Oh, you worked on Black Widow. That's cool, man. That's cool. So you got those big spoilers, hey? You got the spoilers, dude. You wanna start? No, I'm just kidding. That's cool, man. You know, I saw a lot of people talking about that actually, where they didn't want to buy Mulan, but they're like, if Disney sees us all buy Mulan, maybe they'll release Black Widow, and it's like, oh, that didn't really work. You know, that it sucks because like there was a genuine feeling like that would work, but it didn't. You know, it sucks. It sucks. If only more people bought it, maybe. You know, I don't know. So, everyone's going to Werner now. Werner, spill the beans. The Evil Reborn. Thanks for answering my question. Players that Spider-Man's DLC will be out of his element. Also from the audio leaks, he sounds older. I can't remember hearing. It's been a while since I've heard the Spider-Man audio
toys it wants to.
right?
Roger that.
So it's tough to say. I think like will be out of his element in terms of like the character itself, like narratively, or like in terms of like how he's gonna play with you as a player. You know, narratively, I think yeah, probably you can make that. You know, I don't know how much story is gonna be attached to Spider-Man, right? Like I'm curious to see like what kind of story they give him, right? I'm curious to see like what kind of effort has gone into Spider-Man, right? Simply because he's like literally an exclusive, which we don't know his time. So it's like, does he get a villain? Does he get like his own little area? Does he get like a little mission? Like, you know, they said like he's gonna get events. You know, like what is the effort going involved in Spider-Man? You know, like how he's gonna play. Oh, okay, interesting. Yeah, I mean, there's probably some reason to believe that. The Spider-Man thing right now, man, it's a lot of questions in the air. There's a lot of things that people are very concerned about, but don't get me wrong, I am jaded from Spider-Man and the conversation around him because like the more I think about it, the more I think the deal overall was bad for the game. Now, ask me that question again when I play Spider-Man. You know, it could be a totally different conversation depending on how he plays, right? I think if you're a Spider-Man fan, I think it will be a faithful adaptation of the character to the game. But I think if you hold the Insomniac version on such a high pedestal that nothing comes close to it, you'll probably be pretty disappointed in what you're getting. And I think that's probably a safe way to look at it. If you look at this as like kind of like his own version and you don't really compare it to the Insomniac version, I think you'll be pretty happy with what you get. If you look at the Insomniac version and you say like this doesn't do this one, but the Insomniac version does, and so on and so forth, I think you'll look at it and be very jaded by the character and the way he plays. But I'm hopeful that the character just stands on his own two legs and it provides a very fun experience for people who play the game. Ideally. Ideally. I just used Kate today. She's not bad. Kate's a really fun character. It sucks that in the last patch they made a change with regards to Quantum Shroud, and it totally kind of killed melee builds a little bit for her, but definitely still a fun character. Same thing about what happens in the movie, but there's a reason I'm excited to get the movie released. Ah, you tease. You tease. Unbelievable, dude. That hurts. That hurts. I understand, though. Of course, like, you know, you don't want to burn yourself, right? Like, I totally understand. I totally understand. But if you're excited, I'll be excited. I want She-Hulk after Black Panther and Spider-Man. She-Hulk would be pretty cool. If they did do Psylocke and Britain as siblings, like in the comics, do you think she should be a mutant or a story would be changed a little? No, it depends. Like in this game, Cage is what you're talking about. Probably a mutant for the most part. My Iron Man is a 80 or 83 power level right now, and that's my highest Avenger. That's all right, Carson. I was actually having this conversation a little bit earlier, dude. Because I think Brooks is right around the same level as you, and I said, you know, with no real endgame multiplayer content right now, I said, like, if you just take your time leveling and you just kind of play casually right now, I said, there's nothing wrong with that, right? Like, there's nothing saying you got to burn all the way to get to 150 when, like, right now there's no endgame multiplayer content for you to do with, like, your friends or other people or whatever. So, for example, if you're just kind of playing, like, once a week or twice a week for, like, a few hours and you're just kind of, like, taking your time, gearing up or whatever, totally fine, man. It's no rush, dude. In a PvE game like this where, you know, kind of content's been delayed, just play it at your own pace and have fun with it, you know? It's totally cool. Totally cool. But don't worry, Brooks. We'll if you go down, dude, we'll revive you. Don't worry, man. Oh, an MCU? Oh, she'd be a mutant in MCU. I think this game could do an excellent Wolverine, but what do you think? I think an excellent Wolverine would be pretty cool. I think you're right. I think a character like Wolverine, or dare I say a Deadpool, could be a very cool addition to the game. Yeah, I mean, like, I think there's a lot of characters that this game could do very well, and, you know, people would look at it and be like, wow, that's really cool. The only thing about Spider-Man is that Spider-Man has such a high bar to hit, and I think that's more the issue than anything, right? But I think if you're just looking at, like, a character that hasn't had a video game representation in a long time, or even ever, I think there's a lot of room to play, even, you know, including Wolverine or Deadpool or, you know, name any sort of character. There's lots of characters that they can probably do well at, you know? But Wolverine would be very cool. I'd be interested in a Wolverine, you know? I would love to see X-Men come to this game. I don't think it's going to happen, mind you, but I think X-Men could be very cool.
AIM has a set of turbines
X-Men could be very cool.
powering emergency generators. Disable them.
No, get out of my way.
You need to access
Get out of my way.
the turbine.
There we go. Whew. Is it just me, or is unworthy Thor could be Bucky's arm for Winter Soldier? Yeah, I mean the armor definitely could fit a little bit there. They'd have to like maybe change up the textures a little bit. You know, add some. You know, change the textures up a little bit. But definitely you could see it. You can definitely see it. Obviously take the metal part all the way up to the shoulder, but definitely doable. If they do Silver Surfer, they should do a null raid. Be kind of cool. No, I don't think, as much as I want Silver Surfer, and as much as I will tell you guys that Silver Surfer is my most wanted character, Silver Surfer is so far down the list that if they ever brought him out to the game, I would honestly, I would buy everyone at Crystal Dynamics like a cake. Individually. That's like 400 cakes. I would do it. They'd be very small cakes, you know, maybe $5 a pop. That's still very expensive. Maybe they get to share a big one at that point. But I would do it because Silver Surfer would be such a cool addition to the game. We need an X-Men game, a Fantastic Four game, a Daredevil game, all in this universe. True. True. I think the Marvel IP is such a great IP for video games, you know? And it's such a shame that like a lot of the games we've gone with the Marvel IP have been mobile, you know? You know, as I said earlier, I'm like cautiously excited to see what Future Revolution does, but it's another mobile game, right? You know, even though it's going to be an open world, you know, MMO RPG or whatever they're calling it, it's still another mobile game, so I'm very cautious about it. You know, versus like if they kept brought out more console games, you know, I'd be more excited. Even if they didn't turn out as great as I wanted them to, you know, I still think a bad console game is better than a good mobile game, for example, right? And there's a few reasons for that I could go into if anyone cares, but one of them being the monetization system. But, you know, it does suck that we don't get a lot more Marvel games than we should, you know? Even Phil? Yeah, even Phil. Even though Phil bullies me, man. Even though Phil bullies me, and I would still do it, you know? No hard feelings between Phil and I. But if he wants to give me a job, I will, you know, I'll call that even as well. Like, I always kind of wanted Nova in this game for some reason. Nova would be cool. Nova's not a character that gets talked about a lot. Nova could be very cool. It's like some of the boards, like in the desert, how will it work, Spider-Man? Yeah, great question. You know, is it just kind of swinging off the clouds? I mean, that's kind of my worry with the traversal, right? How are they going to rectify those situations with Spider-Man and like the open areas? Like I said, it remains to be seen, man. And that's kind of where my worry lies with Spider-Man a lot. Love to see Sentry, but no, that's highly unlikely. Yeah. Yeah, I'll put Sentry up there with like my Silver Surfer kind of wish list, you know? Wolverine and Cyclops would be awesome. Cyclops is so cool, man. Cyclops would be dope. You're right. Cyclops. What would a raid Wakanda look like versus Cloney Labs? Great question. Without seeing a lot of Cloney Labs,
So far, I can only confirm
it's
we have
tough.
entered an upper tier construction facility.
That sounds bad.
I would say the boss fight is going to be more involved than what we saw with Cloney Labs. I mean, 4 abominations or whatever, you know, or 5 abominations, whatever the number is again, sorry, you know, isn't really that big of a involvement versus like a raid boss, which there will probably be damage phases versus phases where you can't do them, right? If you think of like a classic kind of raid, you know, you have your damage phase, and then once you kind of hit like your limit of that damage phase, then you have to go and do a mechanic, and then you go back to doing the damage phase, right? And then there's like certain mechanics that play there. I would probably say there's gonna be more puzzles involved, and we're not talking like stand on a platform and kind of unlock something. I imagine the platforms are gonna be a little more intense than what we've seen out of Cloney Labs this far. I would say even the areas are gonna be more involved too. Like there's gonna be more to kind of explore. There's gonna be more to do, you know, whether that's ad spawning or whatever. Like I think when you look at Cloney Labs and look at like how dense it is, I think the raid will probably be opened up a bit more, but there's still gonna be just as much, if not more, things to do within that raid. You know, there'll be more bosses as well, right? You look at cloning labs from what we know, and it's like there's just maybe like one, like the boss at the end, right? And that's however many abominations you get. I would expect, depending on how they build out their raid, that like your raid would have more than one boss, with Claw being like the end boss, you know, like that's your final boss to end the raid. And each boss would probably come with like their own mechanics. Now this isn't to say this is 100% gonna happen. This is how I would do it, right? Each boss has like their own little mechanic. You do your own mechanic to beat the boss, right? Different damage phases or puzzle phases or whatever you call them. Ultimately, in the culmination of like that Claw last fight, versus like Clone Lab, where it's just like you beat some ads, you do some puzzles, and then you get your boss at the end, right? So wider areas, more things to do, more puzzles, harder puzzles, more bosses, more mechanic involved in actually fighting the bosses as well, probably. Silver Surfer can be in the Fantastic Four game? I wish. Trust me, again, the 150 is a grind. It can be. One of the things that if you're trying to get the 150, one of the best things to do is to just kind of do vaults and open up DNA chests, and then once you've opened up all the DNA chests and all the other chests, just reset and then do it over again. Phil should make you the community manager? No, you know what, man? If I was the community manager, I'd be just struck. I'd have the same issues that they're having, right? Like, I'm very lucky that I can just freely talk about the game because I'm not like, you know, Marvel Games isn't my boss, Square Enix isn't my boss. You know, like I've had conversations with Andy before, and what I can say about Andy is that if he had the authority to tell you guys what's up, he would, man. And that's, you know, that's really all I can say about that. As honored as I am that you say I should be the community manager, I know there's a lot more at play when it comes to that stuff. And if I was the community manager, then I would be in the same position that they're in, unfortunately. I'm just a random dude on the internet who can talk about a video game, you know, and Square Enix and Marvel Games can't do anything about it. If they employed me, yeah, they'd keep my mouth shut very quickly. I actually, you know, I actually thought for a while that my video this morning was going to get taken down because it definitely shouldn't have come up. I actually had thought for a while that I was going to get that they were going to take my video down, and surprisingly they didn't. Surprisingly they didn't. Superman would be great. Superman, eh? I think Nova could be in the Guardians of the Galaxy. I'm a person who'd like it to be Sam Alexander. Oh, Sam's a cool one. You know, obviously people talk about Ryder, but Sam is actually a good one. I don't mind Sam compared to Ryder, obviously. You know, Ryder is obviously that classic Nova that people love and enjoy, but I think Sam has a good place too, right? He's part of the champions right now, I believe, right? Nothing wrong with Sam. You know what would be cool? You, Trix, and Lejeune team up with you? That would be cool. That would be cool. You know, maybe there's something to be said for when, you know, Clone Labs needs to be figured out, you know? Maybe there's some opportunities there to team up with some of these other guys and do some, you know, do some world first races on Clone Labs, you know? That might be kind of the play for it. I think once we know something about Clone Labs, like a release date or whatever, maybe those are conversations that could be had. I've played with June before. I love talking with June. I think the dude is an honest guy. I haven't really talked with Trix as much, but from what I know it's Trix, the dude just loves the game. You know, both those guys just love the game and want the game to do well. So I would love to get a chance to play with both of them, you know, and if the opportunity presents itself, I would love to kind of hop back in with June and to hop in with Trix and, you know, kill some robots. They should put Blue Marvel? Blue Marvel would be very cool. It sucks that Blue Marvel didn't show up in WandaVision like everyone was thinking, you know? Everyone was so hyped about Blue Marvel, and then it's like, oh, Blue Marvel, not there, you know? Unfortunately. I don't think that rules him out of the MCU forever, but I know lots of people were very upset with him, you know? I'm sorry, upset with that. Hey, I'm interested to know if you played Outriders. What do you think? Hey, Miles. Yeah, I have played Outriders. I've played a little bit of Outriders. Not my kind of game, man. It's okay. I mean, I hear as you get more into it, the game gets better. From what I played, it's not my type of game. But I've also admitted that I haven't really put a lot of time into it. So if I put some time into it, maybe it could be my game. But just currently, as it stands, it's not my thing, you know? I alternate vault and Dave remains to get vault again. Oh, that's how you level up your guys for the gear grind, Leafy? That's interesting. That's interesting. I just did the vault. I just did straight vaults the other day for Thor, and it didn't take too long. It took a while, but it didn't take too long. But alternating could be an interesting way to do it too. Vision would be a nice character to play with. True. I said, you know, obviously if I can't get Silver Surfer, I said Vision would be a nice, you know, I'll take that as like you know, as like kind of, we're sorry we can't do Silver Surfer, so here's Vision, you know. Vision lends itself to a lot of interesting kind of mechanics too, you know, phasing and all sorts of other things that I think, you know, I'm excited to see if Vision gets added to the game, what they do with him. I really want Blue Marvel in the game. Just got to keep pestering them, man. Keep pestering them. You never know. You never know. Wait a minute. Is Thor's hair short in that skin? It is. It is. I like Sam because he feels like a character you can relate to. Hey, that's totally cool, Carson. That's one of the cool things about some of these characters, man, is that a lot of the characters nowadays, or some of the newer characters, I should say, sorry, are characters that like a newer generation of like fans could probably relate to, man. That's really cool. I'm really happy for you that Sam's a character you can relate to, man. I know you're an Avengers channel, but thoughts on Gotham Knights? I'm excited. Like I'm excited for the fact that like it seems like it's gonna be a very cool game. I don't know a lot about it right now. I'm excited to see what they do with it. I'm excited for it to actually start getting marketing so I can learn more about it. I know there's a lot of people who like Avengers that have also said like they're very excited for Gotham Knights. I just don't know enough right now to like say one way or another. I hope the game does well. I hope the game turns out to be really freaking good. We'll just have, for personally speaking, we'll just have to wait and see, you know? If the game turns out to be really good, you can bet I'll play it, you know? Like, I'll definitely, you know, give it a good try and try it. I just don't know enough about it to where I can say comfortably, you know, whether I'm, you know, the hype train's out of control or not. Versus something like Monster Hunter Rise, which comes out at the end of this month, which I can actually comfortably tell you I'm very excited for, right? Like, it's just two different beasts in that point, right? One game I've actually played already and I know a little bit more about, versus one I haven't really played at all and I don't know a lot about, you know what I mean? I think people are overhyping WandaVision. Mutants when they're in there, they're disappointed. I think it's a bad episode. I mean, there's a little bit of, I've seen a little bit of that in the spoilers subreddit, Brooks, where like, I've seen people like very upset that like what they thought was gonna happen hasn't happened, and I hope people don't like devalue the show because of like certain things didn't happen, right? I think if you just look at the show as it is, I think it's still a very good show. I hope people don't take that away from it because like certain characters may have not appeared, or like certain things may have not happened, right? Like Mephisto, or you know, even like Reed Richards, right? Like people thought Reed Richards was gonna show up. You know, I still think Pietro is like, you know, Quicksilver. I don't know if he's the Fox version of Quicksilver, but I think that's going to be the Quicksilver they use. But yeah, no, I know what you're saying. I've seen a lot of that recently where people are like very upset with the show because certain things haven't happened. But I think the show itself is still good, you know? Outriders is fun, rough around the edges, but the way they handle loot progression is the best out of looter games, hand down. Well, and that's the thing, Jay. I think I just don't have enough time in it to really get to the nitty gritty of the loot progression, and I think that's something I need to put some time into. I probably will. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, the demo's not going anywhere. The game comes out in April, so there's a lot of time left for me to kind of, you know, dive deep into it. Stardust has told me like privately that like he's really enjoyed it and that I should probably keep playing it. And I've heard that sentiment around, like, you know, I haven't given enough time to it. I haven't, you know, given enough, like, thought to it. So it's definitely, like, a me thing more than it is, like, the game thing, probably. You know, I'm just going to have to, like, sit down one night and just, like, really, like, try and just see if the game is for me as I go through it, you know? Bolts get a ton of stuff. The end code thing is one of the more fun objectives in this game. True. I usually just kind of, I just reset once I open up all the chests. If I'm just going straight gear level grinding, it's like DNA chests and all the chests and then just like reset to the Quinjet. I haven't done like the end part of the vault in like forever, it feels like, to be honest with you. And that's like one of the things Phil talked about when it came to like progression, that we've like done some, like the community has found out some things which weren't really intended, which is kind of funny. It's actually kind of funny. If we can't get Marvel, I want Quasar. Cool one. There's lots of characters that people want, man. It's like sort of the same thing with like the WandaVision thing, right? Where like certain things didn't happen, so people get upset with it. I hope like people understand like not every character is going to be in the game, but I hope people are still okay with like the game itself or like the characters we get, right? Now we need Silver Surfer. Marvel is in the league, so he's most likely coming. Well, yeah, I mean, yeah, he's in that big date, like that big that dump I was gonna say at the start. There's a lot of characters in that. It'll be interesting to see what we do get out of that list. I don't even think I've seen that skin. It came around once, and then it was glitched, so they took it out, and then it came around again, and I think that's the only time it's come out, those 2 times. I don't think we've seen Unworthy since that time. It's a nice skin, man. It's a lot of people's favorite Thor skin. So if you have a chance to buy Unworthy, and you got the extra cash to do it, man, and you play Thor, I definitely would say it's one that you should. Bro, in Gotham Knights, I really, really want to play Nightwing. Yeah, I mean, like, I don't know enough about it. Like, you know, obviously thinking of playing as Nightwing or Robin or Red Hood or Batgirl, like, those all seem very fun. I just need to know more about the game before I jump one way or another on it. So hopefully, you know, if the game's still coming out at the end of this year, I hope the marketing picks up. It seems like it will, because it seems like they were hiring for some positions, which would indicate that marketing will ramp up sooner rather than later. So hopefully I learn a little bit more about it, and hopefully the game does catch my attention. Like I said, it's one of the things I don't know enough about it versus like Monster Hunter, which I'm super excited for Monster Hunter, right? And it's just one of those things. I think the best case scenario for the game isn't canceled. Sometimes like leaked characters kind of like Kate Bishop and Hawkeye, and instead people like Marvel will get canceled. Yeah, probably. I mean, like there's still so much that we just don't know with regards to like the next like year after this, right? We don't know enough about 2022 to say anything. If you don't want to, Skillet made a great video about it, and that man loves Destiny. Oh, really? Okay, I'll check it out. If you don't want, hey, another YouTuber, Doom Killer HD recommended this channel to me. Both of you guys are both awesome. Who's your main character? Oh, really? Oh, that's super cool. I need to go thank him. That's very cool of him. Who's my main character? I play Captain America a lot. I want Thanos. Yeah, Thanos would be cool. Have you ever found a skin in a loot box? Never found one so far, and I've had the game for a while. If you mean patterns, yes, I've found patterns before, but they're very, like, it's a very small percentage chance. How do you think Captain Marvel will play? And they should do a multiverse thing if Dante from Devil May Cry was in this. Wow. I don't know about the second part. How do I think Captain Marvel will play? One of the things I think about Captain Marvel is I obviously, like, binary form is going to be her ultimate, right? I think it's a very missed opportunity if it isn't. And I think what I would like to see is when she goes into binary form, like, all of her skills change. Like, her moves change. Like, the whole kit is different comparatively. I don't know if I'd want her normal as like more melee. Then you go binary. Do you play her more ranged, right? That could be really interesting. Like if her playstyle totally differs between the 2 forms, that might be an interesting way to do it. But like, how do you build that out with her items, right? Then you got to really look at her itemization and really try to play with that. But I think there's some play in there in like changing the form to change the way she plays, changing her, you know, heroics and stuff like that. That could be a really interesting way to do it. Monster Hunter World was one of my favorite games all day on the Switch. So apparently Rise is coming next year to PC, Leafy. Is this game still worth it if you don't have a static? I would say, man, by static, do you mean like a static group? Like a group to play with all the time? I want both Captain Marvel's original Miss Marvel costumes. I would think they will do that, man. I would think they will do that. What's your favorite Marvel game? Would you like this game as grandy as Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3? My favorite Marvel game was Marvel Heroes pre-Omega. Pre-Omega was my favorite game. I dumped a bunch of hours and a bunch of money into Marvel Heroes, and it is very upsetting that the game isn't around anymore. It's very upsetting. So personally, that was my favorite Marvel game. Midtown Mondays was the best. Like, I miss it, dude. I miss that game a lot, and even though I dumped a bunch of hours into it, I wish I could go back and dump more into it, you know? And what I like at this game is as grindy as Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3. I don't mind grind. I always feel like you got to reward people for the time they put into the game, you know? If you're going to put grind, make sure there's good rewards behind it. If you're going to put grind, make sure there's good missions behind it, right? Like, grind is okay. It's just the rest of your game has to support the grind necessary to it. So you mean like static isn't if you don't have a group? It's tough to say, man. What we know about Cloney Labs is going to make it very difficult to queue up with randoms, especially if they don't have mics. But there definitely are some communities hanging around. I'm probably going to spin up like a nice little assemble Discord server where people can kind of gather and kind of like, you know, have a tight-knit community of people to play with. So I think, is it totally necessary if you don't have a static? No, but I think you got to like involve yourself in the communities that support the game to find people to play with, if you know what I mean, right? There's a lot of cool streamers, there's a lot of cool content creators, there's the official Discord, there's the Reddit Discord. You kind of involve yourself in those kind of situations, and you will find people to play with, you know. We need Jessica Jones, Daredevil, Luke Cage, and the Punisher. Ooh, all good characters, man. Monster Hunter Rise is going to be my first Monster Hunter game. It looks so fun to actually hype for it. Dude, Miles, enjoy it, dude. I'm just going to play a quick villain sector, guys. It's going to be my last one for the night here. Wait, we can't even do it. Yeah, we can't do it. No, that's the elite version. Oh, no. Oh, no. That's okay. Oh, no. What do we want to do then? So I want to play something quick while I just kind of wrap up the stream here with you guys. Play Our Town. Yeah, let's just do that. We're just going to play one quick thing while we kind of wrap up the stream here, guys. But yeah, Miles, enjoy Monster Hunter Rise, man. It's a fun time, dude. Monster Hunter games are very fun, dude. The grind was good at launch before the nerf. In regards to patterns, what's the difference between Clone Labs and Mega Hives? They look the same. So the difference is basically Clone Labs is going to be 4-player kind of mission in kind of culminating in like a big kind of boss battle, right? It's going to be more puzzles involved. Mega Hive is just kind of taking the same hives and the same room patterns and kind of everything, and single player, and it's like 3 hours long start to finish. Like Clone Labs, if you want to play multiplayer endgame content, is going to be way better to do than play like the Mega Hive every week, right? Yeah, that's kind of the basic way to explain it. Like Clone Labs is more involved than what Mega Hive is kind of the best way to go about it, I think. Realistically, Quake would not be a great option. God, I wish you would get it. Quake would be fun, Juan. Quake would be fun. Dauntless is good training wheels for Monster. Yeah, that's actually a good point too. If you've never played Monster Hunter before, I think Dauntless is definitely good to kind of get you into like that kind of game. I think Dauntless is a little more free flowing than Monster Hunter, but I think, like you said, Blake, it's definitely good training wheels for it. You're right. Oh, the gear grind patterns too? Yeah, patterns definitely were. I think the gear grind, like, it's okay. Like, I definitely could see where it could be better. Like I said, if you're just looking to get the soft cap really quick, like, there's ways to do it. But I definitely would agree with you that, like, you know. Quake is also in the least emotionally commentators, one of my favorite characters, so I'm excited for. Well, Quake also had that one pod, right? Like at the start of the game where it said D. Johnson at the top. So she's kind of around in the universe somewhere. You just don't know where. All right, guys, last mission of the night here. Just want to say thank you all for hanging out tonight. If you've been here either, 5 minutes or almost 3 hours now, just want to say thank you guys for kind of spending your Monday night with me. Every week, guys, if you're new here, every week I do a gameplay stream as well as trying to cover the dev stream, depending on my work schedule. And if you're new here, I do cover Avengers quite frequently, more than I thought I would when I started this YouTube channel. It's probably like 2 videos a week maybe, and two live streams a week. So lots of Avengers content if you're into the game at all. Where's my money? You don't get money. And I hope we get Quake's MCU suits in the game. Yeah, from Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Yeah, I mean, that'd be kind of cool. How are queue times for rando games? If you're going to... Well, that's a great question. If you're doing quick match, I think if you do quick match, you should be okay, getting groups with people. If you're trying to queue a specific mission that isn't one of the ones that a lot of people play, I think that's where you run into kind of issues. If you're playing on PC, I think, like, honestly, you can go to Steam charts and you can check the game's pretty dead on PC, versus, like, the game is a lot more healthy on the console versions. But you got to just know what to queue into right now. And if you don't know what to queue into, just do quick match and you should be fine. I want Iron Fist in the game. Iron Fist would be cool. I gave you guac guac for what? You won my giveaway. That's what you did. You won my giveaway, sir. All right, guys, that's it tonight. So obviously, thank you guys so much for hanging out tonight. Like I said, if you're new here, I do 2 live streams a week, and I do 2 to 3 videos a week, obviously culminating in that Sunday video with Stardust. The last one was like almost 2 hours long talking about the game. So if you guys enjoy that, make sure you go check out that kind of content. Otherwise, guys, just want to say thank you guys so much again for hanging out tonight. Appreciate everyone here spending their Monday night with me, man. Appreciate you guys for checking it all out and hanging out and, you know, chit-chatting with me. Obviously, it's obviously a great time hanging out with you guys. So, yeah, thank you guys so much. Have a good night. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Werner, thank you too. Carson, take it easy. Everybody, have a great one. G, take it easy. Bruh, take it easy. All right, guys, that's it for me. I will see you guys next time here on Assemble. Stay safe, take care of yourselves, take care of each other, and I will see you guys next time. All right, everybody, later.